All right. Did that work?
Yep.
It did? Sweet.
Yep. You're live on the
And you could hear it? Very neat. I was hoping it would work. So, let me get rid of, I got a couple of tabs open here. So it wasn't, I don't have a mixer and stuff. So I was wondering if I could make that happen and make it look decent by doing it like that. So that'd be kind of cool if we can do that every week and have a little intro jam, you know? It's kind of neat.
Yep.
And we got out there. Thanks for tuning in. We got some stuff to talk to here. We'll give it a second, see if anybody pops in. Running a couple minutes late. I was fooling with that kind of stuff. See how I was doing that. So if you're following me on Instagram, you see I posted that last week. Ghost did that for me, which is pretty cool. He likes to play around with all kind of stuff.
Oh, man, did I miss the intro?
Did you?
I said I'd be right back.
Oh, well,
Shit.
Well, right back for you is anywhere between now and later.
Watch it. I can watch it later.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
I had to go mix another drink.
That's cool. Like I said, I don't even know if it. I'm actually gonna play it on my phone real quick here, and let me see.
Okay.
Let me see myself here if it.
Oh, it says you're live.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, we are live. I was just looking to see if.
Oh no, I needed to go. I didn't go mix a drink. I had to go sort my holy cards.
I don't know. I think I might have had the wrong. I think it might have been screen sharing the wrong damn screen. But okay, We'll see. Maybe we'll try it next week. No big deal. We'll get it right. Yeah, where is everybody at? Foss is out there. Where the hell is everybody? I don't know. Everybody's off doing their own thing tonight, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe Honda's actually being entertaining for a change.
I don't think Rich had a show either. Did Rich have a show?
Honda has a show right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Honda has a show.
Yeah, Rich was on earlier. They were talking nerd talk, computers and shit.
Ew. Glad I missed that.
Knives. Knives is out.
Let me try this again.
Hey, Knives.
Let me see this one time here. See, that is the wrong. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out which tab. That's the. Okay, I think I screen shared the wrong damn tab, and
You're fired.
Yeah. Well, they're not labeled. There's no like normally when you pull up, if you pull up an article or something, why are the dogs going crazy upstairs? Yeah, see, I had the wrong tab. So I usually when you have a tab open, it tells you like, it's a news article or it shows a little whatever. When it's just I don't have a logo on here or a little thing on here that tells me. Can you guys hear that?
George, stop it.
Stop what?
No.
There we go.
You laughed when you said little thing.
Did you remember to click the share audio?
Yeah.
Do you have the video muted?
You guys can't hear it?
No.
You cannot.
Just see the video.
Oh, so I didn't miss it. Cool.
No, it's okay. No, I'm just trying to figure this out. It's no big deal. Let me see if this is the one. I had the wrong. Yeah, can you see let me see what screen you have there. Yeah, that's the right screen now. Okay. And then see, this is what what's weird is when I blow it up, I can't, it's hard to, do whatever. Oh no, I can see the tops. Okay, so can you hear it now? Oh shit, that's the wrong one. See, that's totally the wrong one.
CNN. Breaking wind. Every hour on the hour.
Yeah, that's for later. That was something I was
behind the green door.
Yeah, that's something I was playing with for later. Oh well. I'll have it right next week. I'll try it again next week. So,
well, if the audio looked as good as that video, it would be styling.
Yeah, it's
This
cool. Ghost did
is
a really good job on it. He picked a bunch of pictures off the internet and all sorts of cool stuff. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, Rich. Apparently, I guess Rich had a show. They said it's just Foss and It's the Foss and Knives show. Foss and Knives. Give me my Foss and Knives back. Don't take my knives. Give them back. The Foss and sounds like something a German dude would say. That guy stole my knives. Give me my Foss and Knives back.
No, you cannot have the frozen knives.
Can't stop
Where are
laughing.
your papers to prove that these are your frozen knives?
I love this is PNN.
This is PNN.
Yeah, I'll do that later. I got a whole segment later. It's Pancakes News Network.
Nice.
That's
I had
cool,
blueberry
man. I like
blueberry
that.
pancakes and bacon this morning.
I had regular pancakes with sausage today.
Nice.
Oh, we got tons of blueberries around here in West Michigan. So
I should have made bacon pancakes.
Michigan, Vermont, like that area up there, like across, is big for blueberries. Pennsylvania has a lot of blueberries too, but not as many as you guys up there.
there's blueberry farms all around me.
Yeah, it must do better. They must do better in a little bit cooler weather, something.
And the wetter the soil, the better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because we're right by the lake. We got a lot of lowlands and stuff.
Well, it's like cranberries too. Cranberries are like that. They grow in them in marshes and shit. Then they flood them. You ever see how they harvest cranberries and then pick them?
Yep. They float the berries and skim them off,
and then they bounce them. You ever see them how they bounce them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they use like a little step thing that bounces them, and then there's a little, actually like well, the low-tech thing is they use a set of steps to bounce it, but then once they get all sorted after that, there's like this multi-million-dollar high-speed camera air jet system that basically shoots them across a little gap, and it strobes a light fast enough to where it can tell which ones are like the right color or not, and if it's not the right color, as it's flying through the air, it can time it to where it'll actually puff a little jet of air to get off the path down or down out of the way.
You could be lying your ass off right now, and I wouldn't even know.
Moo.
They do that.
Go
Well,
on
that's
the
how
History Channel and look up Modern Marvels back in the days before it was just Pawn Stars and crap.
Oh,
They
I
do
love
it with
that show.
They do it with potato chips too. Chips. They have chips that come off of a conveyor, and as they're flying through the air, they scan them for color. And ones that are too light or too dark, a little jet air poofs them off, and they go into the trash. It's fucking wild, man. It's super crazy. Yeah, it's neat.
I would buy those at half price.
Well, and you think about it. One of my favorite snacks is Snyder's pretzels, the broken pretzels, and they have they do like a honey mustard and onion one, and they're fucking slamming, man. They're so good. But I'm sure that's where that shit started. They had a bunch of broken ones. They're like, just throw a bunch of the seasoning on there and put them in a bag. Somebody will buy them, Next thing you know, they're super popular. Use your waste, man. You got to use it all up.
These Americans will buy any kind of shit.
Yeah. There was a
charge
joke
extra for them,
Jim Gaffigan had a joke about that where he's talking about bottled water back in the day. He's like, only Americans would buy water, and he's like, the French were probably like, water, put it in a bottle. The Americans will buy it. They'll buy anything. Yeah, talking about Perrier back in the day.
Gaffigan is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's great. Do you follow him on YouTube?
No.
No, he's doing he puts videos out every day during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
They're like recaps. There's like best of fast food jokes, best of cheese jokes, and then he has dinner with the Gaffigans like every night at around 5-6 o'clock Eastern.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So let me.
I'll have to agree with Mr.
Let's see
Knives
what
there.
we got here.
If you don't feed the turtle chocolate, you ain't 2A.
That's true.
And Squibb did not kidnap the governor.
That's very true. Yeah, you, Squib, and you guys Squib and Patriot were just absent for like a whole afternoon. We didn't know where the hell any of you guys were. I thought maybe I was right, and I thought it was pretty funny because I totally forgot to send it to you, but I sent that text to Squib and Patriot, and Patriot texted me right back, and Squib didn't. I was like, well, maybe he's working, and I don't think he has my number. Maybe he has my number.
I do now.
And I was like, you know what? And I actually, and you know what? I thought I'll read it. I'll read it to you, Moose, since you didn't get the text. Let me see if I can find it here.
I'll find
it. Well, me and Squib were waiting for Patriot to pick us up, and he got lost.
Here it is.
So I sent it. Said, "Oh, go ahead."
Don't worry, guys. I'm starting a GoFundMe to get you out of jail for your plot against Whitmer. If that doesn't work, we'll get Night Strike to devise a plan to bust you out of the pokey. Squib, don't be too erasable. Don't be too irascible. You don't want to get tased in the butthole again. And Patriot, just pretend you can. And when you can, steal a cop car and drive it through the jailhouse wall to free Squibby. Seen it in a movie. It'll work. May the Schwartz be with you.
Uh-oh. I think the host just got governatored.
Yeah.
She pulled his plug. She's got reach all the way over there in Pennsylvania.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, Jones is all right.
I'm back.
Damn it.
I don't know what happened. We had our cables it's weird. Like I was just trying to reset some stuff today because we have a couple of channels that won't come in. So I don't know if our internet's something's going on somewhere, but I totally forgot to send that to you. And then I actually posted it on Instagram. I don't know if anybody saw it. I got a couple of likes, and then I pulled it down because I was like, you know what? Squib's not on Instagram. Like, I was like, he's going to think it's funny as hell. I know he's going to think it's funny, but I didn't want to put something on Instagram about somebody that's not on Instagram. I didn't want to, so I pulled it back down, but I was like, damn it. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then I totally forgot to tag you to send it to you too. I totally forgot. But I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I said something. I texted Snob, and I was like, I said I better text Squib and Patriot, make sure they're okay. He's like, yeah, you better. Or something. He said, yeah, go ahead, try it. Oh, that's pretty funny. So how you guys doing? What's up?
Good.
Just hanging out.
Yeah. Squib, what's going on, buddy? How was the thing in Greeley? The festival, the Festivus?
It was better than what I thought. I'm kind of glad that I was able to get in there. I was kind of glad that Outcast let me know about it, and I was able to align the stars and get in there because that's only the second event I've gone to this year because everything's been postponed or canceled or whatnot. I wanted to go to Harrisburg, but I locked in all my vacation days before I found out about when it got rescheduled to, and I couldn't change them. And that's another reason why I couldn't stay up in Greeley longer is because I literally had to drive up there and then drive home. Yeah. So it's been one of those years where between everything getting postponed, rescheduled, canceled, and then I had all this vacation that I had to book before the beginning of December, or I was gonna lose it. So I had to pick my days. I know some of this stuff is it kept changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and the NRA show, they moved that 3-4 times before they finally just gave up on it. And
yeah.
I know you got the Great Outdoor Show before all this garbage hit, you know?
Right, we did, and it's apparently. I was talking to a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it. The outdoor show apparently is on, but there's no advertising for it, and it's not on the website it's not on the event schedule yet for the farm show as of a couple weeks ago. I haven't checked recently, but it's weird because Ghost had the guys on from DigiTrigger and they said, yeah, we're going to be there. We're booth number or whatever. We're all set to go. And, that's the last I heard. So we'll see.
One of the problems I've got, whether it's a gun rights organization or something else with these events, whether they're like a trade show or they're a rally, is they only advertise on one location. Like, oh, well, let's just put it on Facebook. Everybody does Facebook. Right. No, they don't. Or if you go to their website, if it's something sponsored, like for example, in my area, Michigan gun owners, you go to their website, it will not necessarily tell you that the rally is in 3 months in Lansing, right? But you can go to the state website and it'll tell you, if you scroll through enough days, it'll tell you when it got booked. So it's a little bit difficult to plan things with the way things have been this year, but it's even more difficult when I'm not signing up for Facebook just to find out about this garbage,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I know that's what's nice about. I mean, Black Cat's really good about letting me know when stuff's happening and not happening, because he's in with all those guys really well, and he helps plan some stuff. And that's where this one that was rescheduled, we still went to the other one. We still had a bunch of people show up, even though it was rescheduled, which was cool. And there was, the weather was great. Now this one was pretty miserable. It was overcast and cool and rained a little bit. Not to the point where it was like too cold to be there in the rain, but it just wasn't great. But it still had 200 people, maybe 150 people, something like that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and what's unfortunate is I can't get a hold of. I haven't been able to figure out who was videoing it, the whole thing, because they had a bunch of cameras up front, and there were some awesome speakers. And I still need to try and get a hold of somebody that might have that footage and see if I can steal it from them and post it, because there were some really good speakers. Probably honestly of any of the rallies I've ever been at. Or events that I've been at when heard people speak, this was the best for sure. And it's some really good people up there. So it's kind of a shame that, you got to search for it. I think it'd be up there somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. But,
so at the rally we had here in Lansing, was that last month? Yeah. On Constitution Day, there was a guy that was live streaming, and Outcast texted me and he said, hey, look over here for this guy. You just passed in front of his camera. And I went up to him and I'm like trying to talk real low, and I'm pointing, I'm like, on air? And he goes, yeah, and when he was all done, and he said, who are you? And I said, there's some guy in New York that was letting me know that you were I just wanted to say hi, and I'm on YouTube as well, and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But there's usually somebody trying to, if they're not getting all of it, they're trying to get the highlights. It's just, do they post it, or do they? Where does some of this stuff go to?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's bits and pieces of it everywhere, but they had like 4 cameras set up under a little tent right in front the whole time. So I know it's somewhere. I just don't know where it is, and that's a bummer. And I need to be a little bit. I don't know. I just need to ask the right person, I guess. Try and go somewhere and find it. So, Guns and Barbecue, what's going on, buddy?
You're muted, bud.
Ooh.
Not a whole lot. Yep. I was having trouble getting to it. But yeah, not a whole lot. Just been taking care of the kiddos, all that fun jazz. Thought I was actually going to be able to make it to the Greeley thing. And then DX decided that she had more important plans and didn't want the kids. So that put the kibosh on that. So then I messed around, made a Instagram for, Guns and Barbecue and all that, which found out there's a bunch of Guns and BBQ on Instagram. So I had to do something stupid like Guns and BBQ official IG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pain. That sucks. Moo, what's going up there in Michigan? How's your old lady doing? She okay after her kidnapping attempt?
You tell me.
From what I see, she's fit.
Doing good. Fall colors are coming in good. The weather's been great. I've been working my second job all weekend, so I don't know what's going on. All I know is I got some stinky patients this weekend. That's just crazy. I had to wash my scrubs every time I got home.
Dang.
And if you're looking for some signage ideas, check out Squib's video on something that's missing.
So I actually got that in Greeley. They had a couple of different Trump booths there at the festival. They had vendors selling stuff. They really weren't selling. What was it? Iron Rod of Freedom or whatever, Freedom Iron Rod, whatever it's called. They didn't have festival merch so much as they had other merch, but they had a couple different Trump campaign booths. And I said, "How much for the sign?" He said, "Take it." So I did, and I promptly put it in my front yard today when I got home from Pennsylvania, and it fits right in with all the other ones up and down my street. But yeah, that was one of the things that I wasn't expecting there. I mean, I thought there might have been some political stuff because they had seminars and a whole bunch of other stuff going on there. But yeah, there was a lot of MAGA presence at this thing. So I think you would have liked it, Moo.
Yeah, for sure. And that pure moron sign with the happy face in there, I haven't seen that one before. That was a good one.
Now that one I got at the rally in Lansing on Constitution Day. Right at the end of the rally, I went over. They were finally putting all their stuff away, and of course I got to be the asshole who says, "Hey, can I have one of those?" And then they got to dig it out of the van and stuff. And so I bought that and brought it home. And then the next day, Outcast is calling me, talking to me about AR-15s, and I'm up on the front porch because I can get better reception outside. And this guy pulls up, and he's trying to flag me down, and I want to go, "Hey, man, I'm on the phone," and he's like, "I love your sign," So yeah, they kind of go well together. But then that's another thing too. There's some people say, "Well, I don't want to go to these events, or I don't want to travel, or I'm afraid something's going to happen." Nothing ever happens at these things. But you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that you either come across for free or for a good deal, or that you can't find anywhere else at some of these events, whether it's a rally or it's a festival or it's a trade show or something like that. Just the connections you make or the things you run across. But I think that with the way our governor's been acting, we need to do some pushback, even though she isn't up for re-election for 2 years.
Yeah. George, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Just it's kind of a slow Sunday. Brother came over to wash some clothes. He brought over his Nintendo Switch, and man, I'm just at awe. That thing is awesome.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, the Mario Kart is way awesome. Other games, man, you can play classic games online and stuff, like the old Super Nintendo games. I was like, oh, man, it's awesome. I'm like, yeah, when's that next check coming,
That's cool.
It's going to be a while.
That's neat.
But other than that, we played for a little bit and stuff as he was getting his clothes washed, and then he dried them and stuff, and then he took off, headed over to his girlfriend's house. So she lives out of town, so he just dropped his stuff off, and then he goes over there for so many hours, and then comes back home.
Yeah,
and that's about it. Just I made breakfast this morning.
He'll need to be washing his scrubs too.
We made pancakes, and I made pancakes and sausage. I should have made bacon pancakes, man, but I made something real fast.
There you go. You just got to mix the sausage right in with the pancakes. That's pretty slamming, too.
Yeah, there we go. I should have done that.
Yeah. Sausage pancakes, making sausage pancakes. Heavy, what's going on, man? Long time no chat. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Heavy. I'll bring it up later.
Heavy.
This silence is brought to you by GunTube and Spikes Tactical.
Okay, I'll go then. So, yeah, when you're making your chip beef recipe the other day, my pantry doesn't have a light in it,
Right.
and I reach in the back for the the evaporated milk, and I grabbed the sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah.
And I cracked it open and I started pouring it into the pan. And I'm like, this doesn't look right.
This shit went bad.
Dude. I'm like, it just comes up like a glob. And I ended up putting vinegar in it and more milk and some half and half. And
What the fuck?
it was so sweet. I mean, it ended up tasting all right, but it wasn't the right thing.
Kind of like
All
when
right,
you
can
open
you guys
up.
hear me now?
Yeah,
We can hear
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I guess that's no problem. Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, buddy? Moo, when I posted that, I think I'm pretty sure it was Obnoxious, said that was his wife or his mom once, they did that. They made it with sweetened condensed milk and they did the whole recipe, I guess, made that kind of thing. And he said it was fucking horrible. He's like, it was so bad. He didn't realize the difference between sweetened condensed.
Oh,
and,
it was.
and evaporated.
We got
I
the
had
tactical
a bowl
leprechaun.
just out of posterity, and I threw the rest away. I didn't want anybody to eat it.
Look,
Oh man.
there are African kids that could have eaten that.
Yeah. Starving African kids.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to introduce them to food.
Or diabetes.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I sent it to them USPS, so that should be good.
Yeah, I mean, it was stuff that all came from out of a can, so it can't possibly spoil.
Well, yeah, if it's in a can, it lasts forever. You don't have to worry about that. All you got to do is try and get over the fact that it's 75% sugar.
Well, sugar doesn't go bad as long as it's kept dry.
Okay.
Keep your powder dry.
Keep your powder, yeah.
Keep
Keep your powder dry and your chambers earled.
Earled. Your Earl loaded.
Yeah.
Your chamber's aired.
Earled.
Yeah. Clovertack, what's going on, buddy? Long time no chat. What's happening?
Hey, not a whole lot.
Speaking of Earl,
It's all.
all.
It's funny. It's funny that you came in today, Clover, because
Like ha funny or like screw you funny?
no, like
Funny like a clown.
yeah, like it's
Clowns are
good
man.
because I got today. I found it online and I bought it, and it's a vintage Clovertack action figure.
Right.
Whoa.
And it's
awesome.
the vintage. It's the old one. It's the vintage one because he doesn't have his beard. He was just a little fella here.
Right.
This is when he first started YouTube. A lot of people don't know that he didn't have the beard at first.
That's the baby Clovertack.
It's a little baby Clovertack action figure.
That's little baby Clovertack after the first time he had pixie sticks. I mean, look at his eyes, man.
I know.
If
right?
I play my cards right, I can actually just make it my face right there. Hey, what's going on, guys? Oh,
Yeah.
give me my all
And
back.
Clovertack, Clovertack has lost so much weight. He's
I
going
know.
to have to
He
wear
looks
like a
like-
scuba diving weight
Freaking-
belt
he actually
when he's doing
Looks like this now.
Yeah.
That's actually how he's shaped right now.
Dude,
He's all
doing
ripped.
outside.
It's Scuba Steve.
Now you're kicking ass and taking names,
No,
man. That
but
picture you put
seriously,
up,
Clover, good job, man.
yeah, that picture
you-
you put up the other day of the from
Looking
like
awesome,
a year
dude.
ago or whatever. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, all it took was Jake making fun of me, That's all it took.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're saying it can even work, even for Honda then?
It can work for anybody. You just gotta figure out what works for you, and then
Yeah,
you have
what
to be
clicks.
disciplined about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first thing you do is ignore all the fads and trends and all of that. Some of each of those are right, but nobody's can succeed off of just one of those fad diet things because everybody's body's too different, man.
Yeah. Squib, I don't know if you're on your phone or not. Defense Dad said you have his email. If you want to shoot him the link, you can. I don't know if
Will
you're on
do.
your.
No, I'm actually at home. I'll take care of that right now.
Yeah, that's fine. He can jump in.
We've got a personal message for Mr. Heavy B. Mr. Knives would like to tell you that he's still waiting for you on the corner where you left him.
I haven't been back. I told him the last time I didn't pick him up because last time he was being jacked up by the cops. I was like, I got to keep rolling, you know. It's like every time I go back, I see like flowers to memorial of what I think was Mr. Knives, but you know, if he's there, he's changed so much. I might think he's a homeless person, just be like driving right by.
You can't recognize him by the same bag of oranges he's been trying to sell for the last 3 years.
Poor guy's all curled up on the ground in his shell. They're beating the shit out of him, and you just roll on by.
Oh yeah, man! I ain't fucking with Popo. I gotta get going. Oh, sorry, I'll watch my language. I forget.
No, that's fine. But I can see that he's heavy. Help me! He's like, I got warrants, and he peels out and takes off. You're on your own, Knives. That's bullshit, man. That's not cool at all.
Hey, man, I'm from Arizona now. It's like I'm a foreign invader when I go into those spaces. I can't be playing with that. So
yeah.
I told Knives if he could get to the border, I could get him across. But
smuggle him out of Cali. All right. So, hey, Ghost, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I was watching a movie. Sorry, I'm late.
That's cool. So Sarge, he said that's fucked up, man. That's pretty screwed up. So Sarge sent me a link to a PT News Network. It's a channel. The guy does a lot of. He's a retired firefighter, and I'd seen this on his show the other day. And let me screen share here. Protesters defend woman arrested for pointing gun at driver during march on Hurstbourne Parkway. So this is this is from a while ago. This happened, and the dude that I saw this PT News Network, he was super wound up about this. He was real pissed, and I just wanted to bring it up because it's something that's kind of. It's becoming more and more like pertinent, I guess, or relevant because you're seeing some stuff like this happen. So he comes through, protesters, a bunch of protesters. And at first, I guess when news got out, they showed pictures of this guy in the car, and he was pointing a handgun out of the car. This dude in the black, I guess it's a guy. I don't know if it's a guy in the black shirt. This person, in the black shirt is actually they're filming the guy in the car. And as they're filming, this lady walks up and points a handgun at the car. Now, this is all taken from a news helicopter, which it's really good it is. I mean, it's good that you've got the whole scene and not just this guy pointing the gun. But apparently this guy is they just I guess they're pressing charges or they arrested him. Where from what I've heard, she was the one that pointed the handgun first, and when he saw her handgun, he pulled his out. She's a felon. She's a convicted felon before this and wasn't supposed to have the gun. So she's super fucked. She or are they going to label her a peaceful protester and just make it go away?
I really appreciate how she got her training from The Walking Dead there.
Yeah, the crime school of aiming.
You're supposed to.
I think it's British aiming
through your wrist, right? So she apparently did this. Die. Yeah, she pointed the gun and then she sort of took off into the crowd. And from what I've heard, she ditched the gun. I guess she gave the gun to somebody else, thinking like, "Oh shit." I mean, there's cameras everywhere, and I'm not supposed to have that. So, but this poor guy, got a wife and kids, lost his job because of it, even before he was arrested. I mean, obviously, that when the picture came out of him pointing the pistol, he I can't remember where he worked, but he lost his job. His wife, the job he had gotten, he had just gotten. He had lost his job because of COVID. So did his wife. So neither of them were working. Then he got a job and lost it because of this. And now I guess they're arresting him. So one of the, on top of that, one of the things that's really screwed up is the woman that is, that's pointing the gun. There's a guy representing her. There's a lawyer representing her that after he took the case was on an interview and said what this guy's name was, which is really pretty screwed up, I think. Not that people aren't going to know who he is or find out who he is, but for somebody that's a lawyer for one party to be the one to sort of dox the other party, I think it's pretty shitty, and it's kind of unethical, as far as lawyers go. So this lawyer
is her lawyer Ronald McDonald?
Yeah, his lawyer is some dude that open carries, apparently. Like he's
actually it's the law office of Haagen-Dazs.
Look at her profile.
Yeah, Grimace.
Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
Hey, are you fat? You make Grimace.
Yeah, Grimace.
So he's being represented by the Hamburglar.
So wait a minute. Are we sure that's her holding the gun and it's not somebody behind her? Because, she's blocking several people, I'm sure. There.
Yeah.
No. If you look at her feet there, you can see that there's no, or look at the long shadow, you can see there's not anybody behind her.
That looks like
she moves out of the way. She unblocks the sun.
That looks like a backpack, but it's actually a normal-sized person on her back holding the gun.
Jesus Christ.
And it's not. So.
Woof.
I think it's a shadow.
Yeah.
I like the hand on the hip. If anything, it's ever intimidating, man. The hand on the hip while you're pointing the gun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably got her cell phone in it. She doesn't want.
I think she's reaching for. No, she's reaching for some M&M.
Yeah, that could be too. So, and out there in the chat,
don't you bring M&Ms into this? They didn't do anything to you.
Don't you defile this?
M&Ms are racist.
So, and this is the reason, this is what Rob said out there is kind of what, the reason I wanted to bring it up was he said, so everyone with a gun goes to jail. And that's kind of the scary, that's becoming more and more the truth, right? Not always, and people do get off, but even if you are in the right, if you are pulling a gun, it's going to affect the rest of your life. And that's what people I don't think understand. And we've talked about that. And a lot of us have talked about that on our shows, is like your life is different when you pull that gun out, even if you're in the right. And it's, I don't know. It's just an interesting story. And I feel bad for the guy, especially if, and not everything has come out yet. Obviously they haven't done any kind of trials or anything like that. But from what it sounds like he was using the gun in defense for sure. Didn't fire anything, and neither did she. But
regardless of all of that, why isn't every person standing on the street arrested,
right,
for jumping out in traffic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not supposed to be there in the first place. Sure.
Yeah.
So it should be a non-issue, right?
At the very least, slap them all with jaywalking, but escalate it from there. If they don't start rounding up these people, I don't care if they've got to, use measures that tear gas or whatever. I don't care. If they don't start rounding them up, locking them up, charging them, and this becomes common knowledge that if you want to block a freeway, you're going to go to jail for 10 years or something. We throw people in jail for longer than that for lesser things. Mm-hmm. So if they don't start doing that, then this is just going to become the norm. Even if it isn't an election year, they're going to go, yeah, how are we going to protest? Hey, I know, let's just block the interstate.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. The unfortunate thing about with the way things are right now is if the police do anything, they're going to look insensitive to these people's, thoughts and right. ideas. And that's where we are. That's what's sad is it's gotten so far that even when they're being criminals, the police can't do anything because they're going to look insensitive. That's bad.
I mean, yeah, I know some things they do are
Well, I'm not
bad.
agreeing with.
bad-
I'm not
well,
agreeing
no,
with. I'm
no.
just saying that's where it is. You know.
And some stuff they do or did before this is bad press, and other things you got to do what you got to do. I think transparency with
I
the
agree.
community would resolve some of those issues as far as their image. But the thing is, though, you also can't say, well, we're just not going to do anything because of, I mean, then you're more or less just saying, go ahead, commit crimes. It's all good, you know. And on top of that, if this is an interstate highway, not only would I charge them, with a state crime or crimes, then I would slap federal charges on them and make them serve time in a federal prison because that's a federal freeway. You know, if it's not a state highway or something, throw as many charges as you can on them, not just to get them to stick, but to have them serve multiple sentences. If you don't make this stuff where people are going to go, no, I ain't going to protest out on the road. I mean, it's suicidal to jump in front of a moving car, but on top of that, I'm not going to, federal prison for 10 years. Then if you don't do something, this is never going to end. And the police, I understand they got an arm behind their back, but if they think they're that's bad, they're going to end up having to deal with this with two arms behind their back.
Yep.
It's and in the article, this article too, I missed it in this article. I skimmed through it, but it said that the other protester said he pointed the gun first. So it's going to be a he said, she said, I'm sure, unless some video comes out. We'll see.
Okay, so the way that the judge should handle this is, all right, excuse me, sir, we don't know if you pointed a gun first or not. Are you a felon? Oh, you're not? Okay. Ma'am, we don't know if you pointed the gun first or not. Are you a felon? Oh, you are. Well, I think we know where this is going. I mean, this is cut and dry. I'm not trying to be naive, but
Should be
cut and dry.
Well, if I can interject, sorry, I'm new, but the reality of it's got to be the point there where if you're not on the side of the protesters, no matter what, the media and everybody else puts you're in the wrong, and then local government doesn't want to side with you because it looks bad for them. So people who stand up to do the right thing are getting just screwed because you're against the protesters.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be that way, but the reality of it, that's what it is.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the one to. Nobody wants to be the one to rock the boat, or get the mob turned on them,
I'll do it. I don't need any friends.
Multiple people coming at him. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I'll do it. I don't need any friends. I don't care.
All I need is a couple of canisters of smoke and some pepper balls and a paddy wagon, so we can just take these people away.
Well, even the ones that are arrested. I mean, there's cities that are not charging 85% of the people that are brought in. Like, they're getting them off the street, they're bringing them down to the police station or whatever, and they're letting them go. And I mean, in some cases that might teach a few people a lesson, be like, oh boy, I better keep my shit together. I'm going to get in trouble. And other ones, it's going to embolden them too. Like, they're not going to fucking do anything. You know what I mean? Just keep doing what we're doing.
Well, in the case of this guy, I mean, even if he did pull the gun first, there were several people moving toward his vehicle on a street. He didn't know if they were being violent or not, but we can't see what his frame of mind is. Evidently, he had his wife and his kids in his car. Multiple attackers, is grounds for lethal force defense. I mean, now, granted, were they throwing stuff at people or not, or were they just walking up and yelling at people? That's another question we got to ask.
Well, and that's the thing. Anybody that's going to be stuck on a highway like that in the middle of all that, which I guess, he obviously didn't know he was coming into it. Any one of us, I would imagine, is going to be at the very least ready to draw. Or if not drawn already, you know what I mean? And maybe he had a handgun on your lap or something like that. Like, I could totally see that being scary enough to have a gun at the ready. So I don't know. I think that,
another thing is I noticed there weren't a lot of vehicles in front of him. Why did he bother to stop? The lawyer's going to go, why
was he on the correct side of the road?
Yeah, that's another good point too.
But even if even if you're not on the right side of the road. I mean, I don't know that. I can't see that would matter. I mean, if you're trying to weave your way through a group of people, carefully, and I can't see there's anything wrong with that. I mean, they're the ones causing you to do it. So what do you got here pulled up?
Oh, I just did a quick Google of interference of interstate commerce to see what the actual law is. These are whoever the hell lawyers. Interference in interstate commerce is any instant in which a person delays, obstructs, or otherwise affects commerce. This can be the sale or movement of any type of commodity. The law indicates this can be through robbery or extortion, but in this particular case, the charge implies a federal robbery, blah, 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 blah. Falls under the Hobbs Act, 18 U.S.C. 1951.
That's a little different. That's that's not what people are doing. People are obstructing roadways, obstructing public highways.
Right, but
or otherwise affects commerce.
The commerce law allows you to cross state lines with your car, with your license plate, with your insurance, with your driver's license. It's the same thing. So it's not necessarily that they're holding up a shipment of something getting to a store. It's that they're obstructing the means to which interstate commerce happens. It'd be the same thing. Well, it'd be worse if they tried to lay across a runway. They'd probably slap them with those charges, but then they'd have FAA charges and all this other stuff too.
Okay, so here's the actual wording of the law here. Whoever in any way or degree obstructs, delays, or affects commerce or the movement of any article or commodity in commerce, by robbery or extortion, or attempts to conspire to do so, or commits or threatens physical violence to any person or property in furtherance of a plan or purpose to do anything in violation of this section shall be fined under this title or imprisoned to not more than 20 years or both.
But that you earlier, there was a heading that said, "What's the difference between this and obstruction or whatever?" Is that what was under that?
I don't know. That was a lawyer. This is the Cornell Law School. The first thing that pops up is the actual wording of the law.
The problem is it says by robbery or extortion, and by definition in this, they're not doing that.
Well, and it has to be to somebody that's it makes it sound like it has to be somebody that's hauling cargo or something, it's doing it for a job. And
not necessarily. What are you doing on that road? I'm going to the store. Why? Because I need things. That's commerce. I'm going down to the, court building to deal with this paperwork. Why? Because I need to. That's commerce. It's not just single shot in his semi delivering stuff. It's really broad. It's the same thing. Like I said, it's the same thing that lets you drive over to Ohio with Pennsylvania plates, Pennsylvania driver's license, Pennsylvania insurance. And let's say Ohio has a different set of rules for registering a car. Say they've got like a smog test or you can't have tinted windows or something like that. Your car's registered in Pennsylvania. You can drive it into Ohio. If you live there long enough, you've got to comply. But if you're visiting for 2 weeks and come back, you don't have to change stuff. That allows you to do that is in this. It's the same thing. It's like your marriage certificate. You leave the state, suddenly you're not divorced. No, it's recognized everywhere. So that's where all these commerce laws come. So even if it's not necessarily directly tied to this is where you're probably going to go for blocking a federal freeway.
Yeah,
or any freeway.
Yeah, but then you have to prove that it was by means of robbery or extortion, and you're not going to be able to prove that.
Not necessarily.
Read the definitions there, and you tell me how these, whatever you want to call them, because I don't like calling them protesters, but
individual.
Okay.
Actual or threatened force or violence or fear of injury immediate to future to his person, property, or property in the custodian. Okay, you're blocking the freeway, and I've got to make a decision on whether or not to run you over or not. You're not blocking the freeway because you're injured, you were in a car wreck, or it's shut down for some sort of charity event or something like that. You're blocking the freeway by choice. Is it this? Okay, it's there. And if you want to look for something else in the commerce laws that maybe sounds more simple to understand. I'm sure there's more stuff, if not in this section, in other sections within the commerce laws that would justify throwing the book at these assholes.
Well,
maybe, but there's a reason there's definitions, and if you go by those definitions, I'm telling you, they don't apply.
Yeah, well, I just read the rest of the definition, not the first sentence or the second sentence, but I would start reading 3, 4, and 5 there.
Well, I can't see them. I mean, if somebody
All right, hold on.
Yep.
Hold on, let me go because I clicked on the footnotes here. How about
I read them a second ago, but
under traffic obstruction, it says most jurisdictions consider the obstruction of traffic an illegal activity and have developed rules to prosecute those who block, obstruct, impede, or otherwise interfere with the normal flow or vehicular or pedestrian traffic upon a public street or highway. Some jurisdictions also penalize slow-moving vehicle traffic. The unimpeded flow of traffic in the public road space is often considered a common right.
Here in Texas, it's a class exactly what you read. Violation of that. It's a Class B misdemeanor.
Right. But that's what pisses everybody off. Is it's like, okay, even if it's a small misdemeanor, it doesn't mean you can't deal with people in a certain way. You know, I'm not saying you smash them over the head and throw them in the back of a truck and haul them away, but.
And if the judge was doing what they're supposed to do, the judge could say, fine, it's a misdemeanor and there's a fine. But the maximum fine for committing this misdemeanor is, let's just throw a number, $10,000. Everybody's paying a $10,000 fine. Then when you fail to pay the fine, they can hold you in contempt and they can throw you in the jail. You can have a warrant for your arrest for failure to pay your fine. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, if our law enforcement and judicial system would get creative, they might be able to manipulate the existing laws on the book that are there for a reason in order to enact justice. And if they were more transparent, they might get more people on board to quit calling these people protesters and start calling them what they are, which are criminals.
I don't know that they have to get creative at all. I think they just have to be dealt with. And I know that is a huge, huge undertaking when you've got 300, 400, 500 people out there. But, the people that they are getting, and 85% of them or whatever are being left without charges doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if I go do something in protest, if I wear a handgun in somewhere that I'm not supposed to because, I don't think it's right to, that it's a gun-free zone or something, and I get arrested, guess what? Like, I'm paying the price, or do whatever, if you drive 100 miles an hour and say, speed limits are unconstitutional, and you blow down the highway and get pulled over, guess what? You're going to get your fine. You're going to get your points. You're going to get whatever. That's society is you break the rules, you pay the consequences, right? And isn't that what we teach our kids?
Yeah. Here's a problem. And I do not disagree with you, Squid, but unfortunately a couple words is exactly why we're having this problem. Is if we were to quote unquote get creative and manipulate the existing laws, wouldn't that be exactly what most of these people are protesting about? They're saying that the law is law enforcement and the judicial system is being unfair to some citizens. I'm not saying that's what happened in this scenario. But the problem I'm having is this. I don't want these fuckers on the streets. I don't want these guys doing what they're doing. Unfortunately, they're protected by our Constitution. Now, unless there is a specific definition that says this, that, and the other, you cannot manipulate and you cannot be creative with the law.
When I said manipulate, I didn't mean alter the law or change it to make. I guess I meant
that's what manipulate means.
And I use the wrong verb. Okay.
I'm just saying that's going to take us down.
That's not what I meant, but
I know that, and that's why I said I understand what you're trying to say. But I'm saying that this is exactly why. Okay. A lot of these people are protesting is because laws have been manipulated and laws have been gotten creative with over time. Not saying they're right or wrong.
No, that's not what.
But this is a very slippery slope.
That's what we hold rallies about. These people are not protesting or holding a rally or a peaceful assembly about laws getting manipulated or things being this whole thing about this, we're being treated unfairly. That's a myth. That is bullshit.
I could probably round up 10 people right now that would sit there and say they've been treated unfairly.
Oh, I've been harassed, but that's not okay. Look,
I don't care what they say. I understand what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but we don't need to go down that slippery slope as a country.
But when we have a Second Amendment rally, we're holding a rally because they're violating the Constitution.
We're also not stopping traffic, and we're also not doing certain things. But here's the thing: the second that you don't go by the absolute letter of the law is when all hell breaks loose, and we can't afford to do that right now.
So I want to interject a different monkey wrench into this real quick. If we didn't have lockdown, all the crap for COVID, would there even be as many people out there doing this mess?
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
To a lesser degree.
Not even close.
I mean, people are bored. They're stir crazy. Something to do, right? That's my thoughts.
I think that the George Floyd incident is what kick-started a lot of this stuff, and that was messed up. I mean, you can't. It is what it is. That was really, really bad. But I think you're right. I think what's happening is a lot of people are at home. Even the college kids, the college-age kids, they're in college, but they're not in school. They're doing everything online. So they're able to have time to do stuff. And that's the issue right now is no one's being held responsible for many, many reasons. But one of them is because they have too much time. But two, at this point, it has almost fed itself into a snowball that once again, it comes back to if you have anything negative to say about quote unquote protesters, I'm going to use that word loosely, then you're the problem. That's why nothing's happening. It's not the fact that the law enforcement don't want to do anything. It's not the fact that the prosecutors don't want to do anything. The prosecuting attorney and the sheriffs are elected officials. The last thing they need, unfortunately, let's just be real about it. Unfortunately, the last thing they need right now is to look like they're on the wrong side of this issue. That's why nothing's happening, because they're elected officials.
Unfortunately, though, we didn't elect them to save their own skins. I know they all do it. I mean,
I agree.
Trump is doing it right now.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's probably what it is. Well, I agree with you. We did not elect them to do that. We elected them to do their jobs. Unfortunately, we elected a lot of people to do different jobs, and that's not getting done either. And I'm sorry for killing the chat.
No, you're good, man.
This awkward silence is brought to you by the cool and refreshing taste of Diet Beef Soda Zero. Now with absolutely no flavor.
You know, here's the thing, though, about this. 99% of America doesn't deal with what you were just showing there on the screen share. 99% of the country doesn't have this in their backyard. And I don't think you're going to see much more of it. I just don't think, even if it's okay, every state's got what, 3 or 4 major cities. Even if 3 or 4 major cities in every state had this crap going on, it still wouldn't affect a significant number of the population. You can say, well, there are millions of people living in it. Okay, yeah, it's millions of people that they're part of this. Okay, it just, I don't know. I think a lot of America sees it and they're disgusted with it and they want to see it change and stuff like that. But because it's 50 miles away or 150 miles away or 500 miles away or it's one county over, nobody cares. I mean, I don't want to see people going down there starting fights. We're always saying don't misrepresent the community. Don't get your gun and try to be a Rambo or something, because there are people out there that talk big, but they don't really act, fortunately. But I just don't think this affects enough of America. These big cities or around these big cities are they keep having this violence, but is it shutting down the factories? Is it shutting down the delivery services? No, COVID is, not this crap. You know, nobody cares about downtown getting burned down unless they've got an appointment at the county court building.
Which probably isn't open anyway.
Yeah, I got something to tell you. About a month ago or so, a county away called Hidalgo County. Some cops had pulled over a guy. They had got a guy, and they had the knee on his neck. Well, as they struggled with this guy, his neck got broken. The suspect's neck got broken. And he happened to be an illegal alien. Well, they showed pictures in the news article, and the mug shots. The cops were holding the guy up as his neck was broken, so he was all dangling, and stuff like that. The Texas Rangers are investigating the incident, but all we hear now here is crickets. Nobody protesting, nobody rioting. Just another day just passed by. Just an incident happened. So I guess Latino lives don't matter, or brown lives don't matter, or something.
He's an illegal alien. He already broke the law. I'm not saying that if you break the law, you deserve to die. But if you're committing a criminal act, you kind of get what you ask for. Not what you deserve, what you ask for. Yeah. So if this guy was an American citizen and he was minding his own business and they just decided to snatch him up and lynch him, yeah, sure. Yeah, let's address this. But if you're a criminal, as far as I'm concerned, you have no rights. I know that's not the way it works. Mm-hmm. But I just don't care. I was raised, don't break the law, you won't have any trouble. And for the most part, with exception to only family court, that's what I've had. Don't break the law and you won't get in trouble. I mean, on occasion, they do make mistakes. And sometimes people on death row are there and they're not, they never committed a crime. These things are few and far between. And I would like to see nothing like that happen. But overall, we're being sympathetic with the criminals. It's just like when somebody breaks into somebody's house and they shoot them and they haul the homeowner away and the other person, the criminal, is the victim and their family sues. And it's like, what is wrong with this country?
Yeah. Well, it's just saying that since this incident that happened doesn't follow the narrative of Black Lives Matter, that's why you're hearing crickets. Nobody's rioting, nobody's protesting. I mean, when George Floyd had his little incident and people were protesting, we had people in front of our federal building protesting for like a day or so. Then that was it. We had other towns that were about 15, 30 minutes away, an hour away, protesting it for a couple of days. But like in my part of, town, it just, we have it for 1 or 2 days. That was it. So it's like you said, it's going to hit more the majority of the cities, like if it was in Texas, it's going to happen like in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, maybe some other cities, and in the smaller towns, you're not going to see anything. You're not going to hear anything, That's the funny part of it.
Even the suburb 30 minutes away, you're not going to hear anything.
Yeah. So it's just fun. It's just weird. I had a brother of mine who read the article and he was following the story and he said, wow, these people here are having incidents and everybody's rioting and protesting and stuff. But we had one here, even though it was not a black man, it was an illegal Mexican. Nothing happened. It was all quiet. So that's just the weird part,
I think you also have.
Oh, sorry, Midnight.
That's cool. I think I get what people say, like you committed a crime or you did this and you ended up not getting what you deserved, but whatever what happens. I think that's a police, security, whoever it is, need to be held to a standard of less than lethal. I mean, I think is at the very least, we have less than lethal weapons, pepper spray and all that kind of shit. I think at the very, very least, police officers' actions need to be less than lethal unless they're called upon to do so. And
yeah, it's been very quick. People are very quick to use lethal force, not using their head, then thinking that, since I'm a police officer, nothing's going to happen to me. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, Revolver's talking about that kid Cannon.
Actually, it does work that way.
Well, I mean,
that's the problem.
Yeah, it really happens that way, that it just shouldn't be worked that way, you know, but it does, you know.
With all the trainings that I've had for armed security and corrections, one of the first things we were taught was when you have somebody in custody, you're responsible for them.
Yeah. I think, I mean, there's so many what ifs in life, you know. Now this guy turned out to be an illegal alien. I said illegal Mexican, an illegal alien, you know.
The illegal Mexicans come into Mexico from Guatemala.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Yeah. You know, an officer needs to do everything within his power to not cause somebody, you know, deathly harm, you know, and if I don't know what happened, I don't know how the cop handled the guy, and maybe it was an accident. Maybe it was something that, you know, it was, I'm sure it was an accident. We'll say that. I don't think the cop woke up that morning and be like, yo, the first guy that pisses me off, I'm going to break his neck. Even though we say that sometimes, you know, in jest, but I'm sure it wasn't on purpose. But the techniques that a police officer uses or anybody uses needs to be, you know, proper, I guess we'll say, you know. This defense, you guys raising his hand over here.
Yeah, he's from Nebraska. He's so damn nice. No, you don't raise your hand. You talk over somebody. That's the way you really do it, dude.
All right, man. So, and just, I hear what you guys are saying too, but on the flip side of it, like, so during the riots we had here, they had the protesters throwing water bottles full of gasoline at the cops, and they were then shooting Roman candles and fireworks to try to set them on fire. And those cops responded with non-lethals, and some of them were the use of rubber bullets, and some of them lost their jobs. They were calling for defunding the police. Mm-hmm. And also, sometimes they can't. And this is back to his point. We was talking about the Hispanics. So we had, just a couple weeks ago, we had a situation where a Hispanic police officer was serving a warrant for a guy for manslaughter. The officer was shot and killed. Barely got any press on it. And the Black Lives Matter people protested his funeral procession. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're not all doing bad stuff, but it's getting washed under the bridge if it's someone to the right doing something. But they're even losing their jobs they're demanding they lose their jobs even if they're using non-lethals. And these people are trying to set the freaking cops on fire. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I'm not saying the cops should get a pass, and I think that they shouldn't get away with anything we can't get away with. You know, if somebody breaks into a cop's house and he shoots somebody, he's on administrative leave. We're in jail. That's bull. But you got to understand that once it goes back to play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I hear you, man. We all say I hear you. I think, and it's like guy the comment says, if an American is illegally carrying a gun in Mexico, they shouldn't give him due process. They don't give him due process. They choke him out since they're not a citizen. They
disappear.
Yeah, I get that, but that's why we're not fucking Mexico either. That's why none of us want to live in Mexico, and that's why none of us, you know, would you know, if we lived in Mexico, that's why people want to come here from Mexico, because shit like that happens.
If you're lucky, you're in Mexico, and a cop stops you, you got to show him some bread. You know, you got to give him some money to get you out, because they don't make a lot of money.
Well, it cost me $200 one night to take a piss in Tijuana. It literally cost me $200 not to go to jail because I pissed in the corner of Tijuana Street.
Damn. Tijuana is the highest the murder capital of the world, I think. Now, I think I saw that last week.
It's been a long time since I've been there, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, Ghost. Every chance I had to go down to TJ, I passed.
Yeah,
I went a few times, man. I enjoyed it, but oh my god, it is backwards down there.
Yeah, I've only been there a couple of times. Once they required a passport or the little passport ID card, I just like, okay, I don't need to go anymore. It's not like I need to drink over there. I'm old enough here, you know.
George, didn't you see Born in East LA? You don't want to go down to Mexico.
No. You're going to have to round up half the town just to charge the border, you know.
Revolver is talking about protesters. It says their followers it doesn't take much time to do any research. A lot of these situations didn't call for any protest or rioting. They just follow. I think that's a big part of it. People want to be part of something, and people are going to either be part of something good or part of something, not good, I guess. And right now, what probably started out as something good or, positive, maybe it might be quite a long time ago now, has morphed into something that people that are looking to be part of something destructive and bad are latching on to.
Yeah, that's what I say about the statues, like they're being removed, the Confederate statues, and a friend of mine said, I can't believe that they're doing that and stuff. I said, dude, all these people these days are willing to get into change, If they can go and say, that statue that used to be on that hill, I helped get that out of there. I changed that, Yeah. That's why these people are doing that. Some want change and some want to be a part of it.
How are they going to remember the statue on the hill if there's no statue on the hill? Because the new people they would brag to are not going to have that frame of reference.
There you go. It's just like they say, the ones who forget about history are condemned to relive it.
I got a rifle in my safe right over here. And I've said this before, and this is what you guys said as far as the statues, if they aren't there, there's somebody, I can't remember, one of the guys that we know, I can't remember who it was, had said once that they don't like to have, they wouldn't want to own a gun with a pistol or anything, any kind of firearm that had a swastika on it. Because of, what the swastika stood for at the time and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, I could, okay, it's an opinion. And I've talked about this in the show, and I think I talked about it in a video. I have my 8mm in there that's got swastikas on it. And to me, that rifle signifies a really interesting time in history. It was made in Hungary after the Nazis took over Hungary. The Nazis decided they were going to take a Hungarian rifle and they're going to change it, modify it, and come up with this rifle that I have to shoot the 8mm Mauser. And the Hungarians couldn't defend themselves against the Nazis, and Hungary was taken over. It was made in Budapest at the FEG factory. So when I look at that rifle, when I hold it, I think, it makes me think like, wow, who made this? Who put it together? Who was forced to do what by these horrible people that, they didn't have the means to defend themselves against, and it's, it's a whole different meaning to me to look at that gun. I don't think of it as, well, this gun might have been used to, by a Nazi, soldier. I'm thinking about this rifle like, wow, think about why this rifle exists. Like, God damn, it's different. It doesn't.
Let me ask you a question, just for conversation purposes. Mm-hmm. What if you were a Yehuda Reamer?
Yehuda owns Lugers. Yep.
He owns Lugers, but here's the thing. Would that gun symbolize something different for him than it does for you?
I don't know Yehuda. I've never been on a chat with him, but from seeing him, I guarantee. I'm not going to say I guarantee, but I bet the way that he looks at things is that you can't forget history. I think he sees it as a part of history that you need to remember. I would imagine.
It's almost like art. You look at some art and you go, that is just disgusting. Oh, why would somebody pay all this money for it? And somebody else goes, it's beautiful. I'll pay $1 million for it. I've caught crap over the Confederate flag. For me, it's a symbol of Southern pride. It's a symbol of independence. It's a symbol of rebellion. It's a lot of things I consider positive. Some assholes have perverted it and turned it into a sign of racism. So you have ignorant people who say, well, everybody who has this or flies this or likes this or tattoos it on their body or whatever must be a racist. No, somebody who wants to use it as a symbol of racism is a racist, but somebody else is not necessarily a racist, and they don't get it. And if we're going to go back to the whole Constitution thing, our Constitution protects our right to have one, to fly one, to do this. Now at work, they might say you can't wear that or whatever, or maybe it isn't a good idea to bring it here today or something like that. But just because my neighbor says for him, he looks at it and he sees it as a sign of oppression, I look at it and see it as a sign of freedom.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine a buddy of mine that he hates Confederate flags. He hates Nazis. He's got like this personal vendetta against Nazis. Like, I guess they attacked his family or something. I don't know. I try to find out why he has this real big, hatred. I mean, I can understand Nazis are bad. Yes. But to actually get triggered when you see the Confederate flag or something like that. I said, dude, it's a flag. It was on top of the Dukes of Hazzard's car. Come on. The state flag is part of it. They have that on there. Was it Georgia or Alabama?
Yeah, Georgia and Mississippi had it. And I think Mississippi still does.
Yeah, they have it as part of their flag. So I'm like, dude, why do you get so upset? It should belong in a museum, and that's it. It shouldn't be flown. And I was like, dude, people do what they want. It's their freedom to do what they want. If they want to fly the flag, that's fine. It doesn't mean that there are KKK or white supremacists or any kind of, racist, type of group, so just don't get that triggered, I mean, God, come on,
Well, it's like a lot of other things in life. If, this is a country where you should be allowed to, within reason, I guess, or within measure, express yourself. And on top of that, what if you weren't allowed to have like a Trump sign or a Biden sign in front of your yard? You wouldn't know if your neighbor was an asshole or not.
Yeah.
Let me ask you
I
guys
let all my neighbors know that I'm an asshole.
Well, I don't think you have to let them know. I'm just saying. I'm just kidding. So let me ask you this, and this is just a general question. How do y'all feel about a flag being burned?
I don't like that.
And I would...
Unless it's something like they're retiring the flag because, it's beat up or something, they can retire.
So let me ask you this, is if the Confederate flag is just an expression of freedom or whatever, isn't burning a flag covered by freedom of expression in the Constitution?
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is. And
okay, just want to point that out.
Whether you like it or hate it, people fought and died. Other people have the right to express themselves. And
now here's the thing.
I hate it personally.
I have no problem with someone burning a flag. I'll beat their ass afterwards, but I'll let them burn the flag.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think that some of us should get a waiver if we do beat their ass. I'm just saying, you can't program us to love this thing to the point where we were willing to die to protect it, and then we have to watch some asshole burn it.
I agree 100%.
And not have the judge go, all right, look, just, I don't know, put him in the tank for the night and charge him $500 and send him on his way, right?
No,
but then you got the person who didn't get indoctrinated into that, who does it. Yeah, okay, it's on charges.
But here's the thing, and this is playing complete devil's advocate. But here's the thing: you and Heavy know more than anyone in this room what I'm getting ready to say. We took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay? Yes, some of these could be considered domestic terrorists. There's no doubt about it. But the Constitution, as it reads, says that we have the right to freedom of expression. We don't have to like it. But burning a flag or flying a Confederate flag or whatever it is may not be the best idea. But we all, well, not all, but the ones that raised our hand, that's what we served for.
Yeah,
served it.
I'm not saying it should become a law where you can't do it. I did serve in order to protect somebody's right to do that. I've just said in the past, I would like some sort of waiver. All right. It's like, I'm a protected veteran. Okay. Well, if I beat the shit out of this guy after he burns the American flag, can I use that in court to get out of trouble?
I would agree with that 100%. I'm in on that.
Just like
I'll
a $50
take that.
fine or something small.
Or a high five.
Make me do 20 push-ups.
They give you $5.
A steak dinner. Say thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Protesting him.
But see, that's the problem that I have is I think that's where our country's at. Is we have selective anger. We get angry at things that we don't want to happen, and the big picture is, unfortunately, where we are in America right now is still what makes us the greatest country in the world. What if that same incident where the protesters are in the middle of the highway happened in Beijing?
Oh, we know what would
They're
happen.
dead in 3 seconds.
Yeah, they'd run them over with. Yeah, they'd
Exactly.
run them over with tanks.
That's right.
With T-72
So as much
tanks.
as we hate it, the fact that we're able to do it, and yes, you might get a slap on the wrist, you might get off, you might go to federal prison, whatever. But the fact is that you're not going to be killed on the streets just for doing it is a beautiful thing. We may not like the message that's being sent out right now by social injustice, but the fact that we're able to do it is a beautiful thing. That's all I wanted to say.
And well said, too.
Well said.
And once again, I killed the chat. My bad. I'm going to leave, Travis, because I keep killing the chat. My bad.
No, you're good, man.
No, you just leave.
It's
You're giving everybody something to think about.
It's
I'm looking through. Go ahead.
it's all the devil's advocate crap. I want you to come out swinging, man.
Well, and that's
No, you don't.
There's what is right, quote unquote, is different to every person, and that's what's.
But we've got one side saying it's their way or no way.
Right.
And then we're trying to be the good guys and go, now it's everybody has and it's not working.
Well, and that's what's crazy is you'd think like in years past, people that were considered conservative were the ones that were, pissing everybody off, and now it's people that are conservative, the ones that just want everybody like, hey, we can all get along here, right? We can all just be cool. Why can't
I'm
we all?
not so sure if we can at this point, honestly, right now. I'm not saying 6 months from now is fine. I'm saying right now, I don't think that's possible. And that's what's sad.
No, it's pretty far gone. I think you're right. It is pretty far gone. And I don't like to even bring up the topic of like civil wars and shit like that because I feel like it's weird to talk about, but it's pretty nasty out there in some places. I mean, I really am glad we don't live in a city that's like Portland or somewhere like that, or Seattle. Like, holy shit. Like, it just seems like it's a powder keg right now,
Night knives.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. I can't remember who it was. Someone was talking, it was maybe a little while ago. They were talking about, the law enforcement not having the ability to do their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at right now, is because if they do their jobs, it's going to get worse. But they're not doing their jobs, and it's getting worse. So it's literally, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And at this point, I would have to think that, what? Some of the law enforcement guys out there, they're like, I just want to go home tonight.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm just going to stay away from that shit. I want to go home tonight because if I get involved, nothing good's going to come from it. And that's unfortunate because that's where we're at right now is you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And that's not how we're supposed to be. But what's the answer? Martial law? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is right now. That's the problem. No one knows the answer.
But I've got a good friend of mine, for example, and this is Podunk, Nebraska, right? So he is a Buffalo County sheriff. He's a sheriff on the sergeant department. I should say where he is, sorry. But he works night shift, and he's like, I gotta tell you, man, when I pull someone over at night, I hope to God it's a middle-aged white guy, because they're the only ones that are like being sane about why they're being pulled over right now.
That's why that cop was nice to me.
Anything else, he's just like, it just blows up in the middle and people just call, overreach or racism, and I'm sorry, you're doing 90 to 75.
I was talking to a buddy of mine. He's a creator, and he called me a few days ago. He's a black guy from Maryland. And I asked him, I said, look, you got a second? And he goes, yeah. So I've got a question for you. And he's like, okay, yeah. And I said, I understand why this is all happening. I get it. I'm not insensitive to the issues. But I asked him straight, I said, what's the end game here? I'm really wanting to know, what's the end game? And he looked at me, he straight up says, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. There is no end game. At least there's not one anyone sees. No one's out there saying, at least you had in the 60s, you had Martin Luther King, you had Malcolm X, and you can say what you want to about Malcolm X, but Malcolm X had an end game also. Martin Luther King Jr. had an end game. There's no end game right now. We're going to play this game, and we don't even know what quarter we're in.
That's been out for a couple of years now. In game, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
It's like going in.
Here you go. There.
Hulk was my favorite.
Good flick. Good flick.
No.
It's
Thor.
like
They're all the way.
It's like going to war with another country and not having an exit strategy.
It's like going to war. Exactly. It's like going to war against a people that have been doing this for thousands of years and don't give a shit if they die. That's exactly what it is, Squib.
You know what it is, and I know there's a lot of this kind of thing comes up a lot with The Simpsons and South Park, but it's like the underpants gnomes. What did the underpants gnomes want to do? They wanted to make money. So their step one was to steal the underpants. Step two, they haven't figured out yet. Step three is make money. Be rich. So it's There's
that's easy. That's easy. Just charge entry into the locker room, and you hold them up, and that's how you do it.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know how many people get that reference, but yeah,
you need Anthony Michael. You need now, and all we need is Anthony Michael Hall, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's paint a nightmare. Let's paint a nightmare Biden-Harris solution to this. If they won, you guys might need a shower after this. Okay, they win the election. They try to make change. It isn't working. They're pleading with the people. It isn't working. The riots are getting worse. Things are getting worse. Everything's getting worse. And you know what they decide to do? We need reparations. We're going to send everybody a check like we did for COVID, but only if you're black or can prove that you're black. Don't worry, some white people will get them too by mistake. They'll probably also get some extra ballots. And we're going to send you reparation. We're going to pay you off to go home. We're going to pay you off to quit writing. We're going to pay you. That won't work either. But I could see in some sort of dark future where them or somebody like them get in office. They'll go, I've got the perfect solution. We don't have to fire one shot. All we got to do is just raise taxes a little bit more and send out a bunch of these checks. It worked for COVID. It won't work because what will happen is
that in California.
But people will get the money. And then after they're done spending it, they're going to go back to rioting because they know they're going to get paid off again.
Now, I'll do what Roll Call said he would do. He would hand out job applications, and that'll stop them riots. Everybody will start running.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that right after the Civil War, there's a thing called 40 acres and a mule. That didn't work out very well either.
Nope, that was an empty promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, that's what the NFAC said. They said they were going to take over Texas. Clover is almost had his hands full down there. They said they would take Texas.
I'm sorry, I'll fight against that.
Well,
they keep shooting each other, so they're not going to make it.
Yeah,
they kill themselves before they get off the battle line.
You're going to be coming out.
I say we give them Montana. I say we give them Montana.
Rogue would be happy about that now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
No. Montana is way too beautiful a country.
I'd almost
give them California. Send them over to California.
I almost say let them have Texas and then send me to Montana.
I think Washington.
Yeah, no doubt. Huh?
I think Washington would be. There's already a lot of shit up there. There's already a lot of them up there. a lot of
here's my
protesters and stuff. You know,
in case they're listening, here's my price: $10 million, a dozen guns, can be anything I want,
including an A10.
Anything I want. Yeah,
that's technically a gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 20 millimeter or whatever.
No, the Gal 8 30 Mike.
Yeah. I'll start naming off my price if they. Let's do it.
Now those are
and 40
beautiful
acres
land
in a
up
mule
there
in
in
Montana.
Montana.
And he wants
definitely.
his 40 acres and a mule in Montana, is what he's saying.
Well, I won't want 40 acres. It's Montana. I'd have to have more like 4,000 acres.
Well, you got to leave room for everybody else who's going to take the deal too, dude.
Okay,
Come on, don't be selfish.
I'll go to 400, but not an acre lower.
All right, I can work with that. I'm good.
Okay.
I cannot respect a guy who calls an A2 AR-15 with a full stock a shorty bullpup.
Yeah.
Nah. Sorry.
Yeah. There's a post on Instagram where it was a dude from the NFAC, and he had a bullpup. I'm not sure what it was exactly, whatever, but AR or something. I don't know. And I was like, if somebody tag that fucking guy in this and show him that this is actually what a bullpup is, please. Yeah.
No, those guys saw Clover's lawn chair pops, and they didn't want to go to Texas one bit. The suppressed 450 there, shooting a pumpkin.
Now they get there and it smells like cow shit. Oh, sorry, Moo. And then they don't want to be there. So
I don't smell nothing.
That's your upper lip.
Man,
Yeah, but you're one of those people who don't think his own shit stinks. So
cow ain't nothing, man. Chicken is the thing.
Chickens.
Chicken and hog are worse than
pigs are bad, man.
I worked on an 800 head hog farm, and I would work there before I'd step foot in a chicken farm.
I was just thinking about I knew I was in Amarillo before I could see the city limit sign. I could smell it,
You can smell Amarillo by the time you get to Wichita Falls. And if you're in Texas, you know how far that is.
I'm from Wichita.
You ever smell the stink of a mushroom farm?
depends on the mushrooms.
I tell you, another one is a paper mill. That does not smell good at all either.
We had paper mill here. Yeah, paper mill. We had, and right next to that was a hog farm, chicken farm, and a landfill.
Oh, have you ever been near a beer factory? Beer factories are pretty bad too.
And sugar companies, sugar beet factory. Stink like shit.
I'll agree with the chicken one, man. Have you ever had to clean out a chicken coop on August 100-degree weather?
Yeah, ammonia up the wazoo in those chicken farms. Oh my god, my buddy had one, and they had like 90,000 chickens in there. You'd walk into that thing, you walk right back out.
See, all we need to do is give these people land, 40 acres and a mule downwind from all of these things.
The chickens have large talons.
Hey, that's their First Amendment right.
Look, they're devolved dinosaurs, and everybody loves dinosaurs.
Isn't it Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah. Do the chickens have large talons? What? I don't understand a word you're telling me.
Vote for Pedro.
Vote for Pedro. I was going to say the exact same thing.
I'm training to be a cage fighter.
I'm training to be a cage-free fighter.
Napoleon, don't get mad at me because I'm talking to babes on the internet for hours and you're not.
La Fonda.
La Fonda.
So
Honda.
I got in front of a school bus.
I got bored last night and I made this up for when we're going to do news articles.
Oh, there we go. This is PNN.
Pancake Network.
That was good, George. I like that.
Thank you.
You'll have to do that for me and I'll put it underneath and at the end. Pancake News Network.
We have the meats.
The fact that there's not a toilet flushing in the background somewhere is just kind of wrong.
Whoosh.
Give me a minute. I'll pull up a video.
I didn't say it was. Yeah, I didn't say it was. I guess it's not done yet. I guess it needs a little something added to the end. I'll have to find it. Actually, I wonder if Apple. I'll have to look at my phone and see if Apple has a toilet flushing sound. If they do, I'll put that on for next week.
Pretty sure the YouTube audio library probably will.
I can just sample one from one of my closer Bawoosh videos.
Yeah.
It's so bad that when we were at the festival on Saturday, we went out to dinner afterward, and I went to the restroom, and when I came back, Outcast Lady said, "Did you film one of your little videos in there?"
Outcast Lady, I like that. She should have her own YouTube now.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know if you guys. I don't watch Rush. I don't watch Rush Limbaugh at all. I don't really listen to him. But he Trump called into Rush's show the other day. I don't know if you guys heard it or not.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, him and Rush are like, butt buddies. They're all buddy. But
that's their freedom of expression.
So this is, I guess, where Trump found Barr came out and said that the Durham report about the collusion or whatever isn't going to be ready to be released until after the election, and that got
That's
Trump.
not going to look good. Yeah, not going to look good. That
got Trump all pissed off, and so Trump went on, started ranting, not ranting, but a little bit. But this is one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time, and I wanted to play it, and I can't believe that. I don't know. I'm apparently far more childish than anybody else I know, but I thought this was really funny. So he's talking about how Rush pulled up the article and said, "Yeah, Barr said that he's not going to have this ready until after the election." And Trump was talking, and this is what he said.
You would have had 25 people in jail for the rest of their lives with what we found.
Oh, you tried something like this against any of them? Heck yes.
Oh, are you kidding me? You would have been 20. Look at me. I had to beat off the phony Mueller report. I had to beat off all this stuff. I had to beat off impeachment. I had to beat off Congress, everything else. They did send it to New York, which is all political. They sent it into the same stuff into New York. You have to beat that off. They got New York all over.
Get sampled so much.
They don't stop. This is a disgrace. If that just came out, and I purposely tried to stay away from it because they all say it would be better if I'm not involved.
Well, have you declassified?
Now, you see what needs to happen here is, since everybody in Matt's and Honda's Discord is doing the deep fake face replacing, you need to add that picture of Matt and Honda.
So, I heard that, and as soon as he said it once, I was like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious!" And then he kept going. He's like, "And I had to go to New York, and I had to beat that off."
I don't know, man. Having to beat off all of New York, that takes some stamina for an old guy like him.
That's a lot of handies.
Stamina for anybody. Yeah, it's a lot of beats.
And Night Clover. Thanks for stopping by.
Also on that show, let me find out. I wrote down where it was here. This was pretty interesting. He's talking about.
Seven finally shows up like an hour and a half late.
I'm going to start about a minute before it, but there you go.
And copyright strike in 3, 2, 1.
All right, this is about 30 seconds before, but he starts talking about Iran, and I thought this was pretty cool, actually.
Far away.
And yet they dominate the World Health. Okay, they dominate World Health. And World Health, when they did this horrible thing to us, World Health did nothing whatsoever to help us. We're at 500 million here, so I terminated the deal.
Oh, they're in the tank. They're in the tank for the
totally
shotgun.
In the tank.
I got to make an observation here,
about
sir.
World trade. By the way, same thing about World Trade. Do you know in World Trade, China is considered a developing nation. If you're a developing nation, you get tremendous advantages in the World Trade
Well,
Organization.
you get your hand in the back pocket of the United States Treasury is what you get.
100%. And I ended that. I said, I'm not going to accept that they're a developing nation. I wouldn't say China's in love with me, by the way. China is dying. Here's what will happen. Just a couple of predictions. If I win, we'll have a great deal with Iran within 1 month. They're dying to have me lose, but if I win,
a great deal on what?
Or no nuclear weapons.
No nuclear weapons.
Don't forget. Look at what's happened to terrorism. Iran was a very wealthy nation, given $150 billion plus $1.8 billion in cash by Obama. A very wealthy nation, and now they're a very poor nation. And the terrorist organizations, I knock on wood as I say it because it's easier to start something, but they're not fighting like they used to. You know why they have no money? Because Iran is bust. Iran is bust because of me, because of sanctions and other things. And the whole picture of terror, you don't see the terror. Now, I hate to say it on an important show like this, but I'll say it. You don't see the terror the way you used to see the terror. And they know if they do anything against us, they'll pay 1,000-fold problem. They're going to have 1,000-fold difference because they know now that we have things that we never had before. We have strength in weapons and things that we never had before. We never had it like we have it now.
Right.
And Iran knows that, and they've been put on notice. If you fuck around with us, if you do something bad to us.
Dropped an F-bomb.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's
I thought, I was like, wow. I was like, oh, look at this guy pulling up his britches and dropping F-bombs.
That's my shitbag in office.
Saying if they fuck around, they'll find out.
The funny thing is that's exactly what he told them. I guarantee it. Don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
We're the only superpower left, fuckers. Don't fuck with us.
Or Iran was listening and they go, did he just say what man, he does mean business.
And you know what? I'm sure there was a whole lot of people out there and I saw that that's how I found this interview, because somebody on Instagram had posted like Trump drops F-bomb, and I was like, oh shit, let's watch that. So I watched the whole thing, and that's where I found out that he was beating off half of the United States. But then the F-bomb, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the United States going like, hell yeah, buddy, fuck around and find out.
Trump beating off half the United States was his stimulus package.
Stimulus package, yeah. So I don't know. That's when I was like, I'd seen that, and that's when I did the breaking news thing because I thought it'd be funny. Breaking news: Trump beats off half the United States. This just in.
What if he had that porn star to help out?
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, what was her name? I don't remember.
What was her name?
Daniel. Hey you. That's what it was.
Stormy.
Hey you.
Stormy.
There you go, Stormy Daniels.
Well,
itchy herpes.
Itchy and
scratchy
from the Simpsons. So this fucking nerd here.
Why you gotta talk to me about that? I mean, I'm right here. I can hear you.
I thought you left, but it was Clover that left. Sorry.
Yeah.
Philadelphia officials announced legal action against Pennsylvania over gun laws. So something bad happened, of course, and now it's the gun's fault. City of Philadelphia has announced legal action against the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania over gun safety laws. City officials, including city council leaders and Mayor Jim Kenney, announced the lawsuit during a press conference Wednesday afternoon. In the suit, the city argues that the Pennsylvania General Assembly refuses to enact sensible gun safety laws while simultaneously handcuffing local government because we have preemption. That's what he's talking about there. From enacting proven policies of their own that have been shown to be effective in saving lives.
So it's a go nowhere lawsuit. It's just for fucking shouting and screaming purposes.
Right. We need to shuffle some money around in the budget, so go do this.
Yeah.
Well, as long as Harrisburg, as long as Pennsylvania has preemption, the only way they can enact laws is by breaking the law, basically. And that's what happened out in Pittsburgh. Is Paduta was gonna enact that assault weapons ban in Pittsburgh. All by his lonesome in there. So that was would have went to court, I'm sure, but who knows? I mean, how long would there have been a ban? Whose lives would have been affected? Who would have gotten arrested and fined and lost their job and gone into debt or whatever before it was deemed unconstitutional? That's the problem. And that's kind of like the first story is that dude had lost his job before, anybody even really knows what the hell happened. I mean, your life is ruined. So in the press release, the city cited an example from 2019. Safe Havens Law. Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
The law, which sought to prohibit guns and other deadly weapons from playgrounds and recreation centers, was passed by City Council. City councils say the law was then blocked from public hearing and General Assembly. Plaintiffs in the lawsuit include Philadelphia residents harmed by gun violence, as well as residents burdened by public health and public safety costs associated with gun violence. So it's another, it's kind of along the same lines as the Sandy Hook thing, where they're trying to sue gun manufacturers in a way because somebody used something or did something that they weren't supposed to. Stupid, dumb shit. Big fish.
You know why that law will never, ever go through where you can sue a manufacturer at the federal level? Ask Squibb. The car manufacturers will never allow that to happen. There's so much money that would be screwed. I mean, they'd be screwed.
And they've got the money to back up the lawsuits to keep it in court or to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The car manufacturers will never allow that to happen. And pharmaceutical companies will never allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just had a headache and I drove off the road and I'm going to go see Tylenol now. No, it ain't going to happen.
The company I used to work for, we were tied up in court for a while because the woman in the car accident sued the car manufacturer and every supplier of every part, pretty much, in the area where the damage was to the car. The fact that she was injured in the wreck was due to her. She exceeded the design limitations of the vehicle, and she kept going and going and going. The manufacturer of the vehicle settled. They said, "Screw this, we're not," And it was up to the part suppliers like us. We said, "No, we ain't settling. We don't care how much money this costs. We're not, because they'll be coming after us every time somebody has an accident." And we won, but it cost the company a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
but it saves so much over the next 10 years.
Yeah, because this sort of thing gets out there, and it's like, oh, all we got to do is sue every single time. Yeah, and it kind of sucks, but the only way they're going to be able to get that to work is if they specifically target firearms and ammunition. If they target all consumer goods, then yeah, it won't go anywhere.
Can you imagine?
No, because if they target firearms and ammunition, and it does go through on a federal level, it sets a precedent.
That's true. That is true.
Which opens the door to all the other major, like big pharma.
Yeah, the Supreme Court would not allow it to happen.
And if I was Ruger, I'd be picking up the phone and calling General Motors, going, "Guys, we can handle this now for a little bit of money, or after they take care of us, they're coming after you." And then I'd turn around and I'd pick up the phone and call Jack Daniels, and be like, "Guys, we can handle this now for a little bit of money, or after they're done with us and General Motors are coming after you."
And then call Bayer the next, and
the paint company,
the pharmaceutical company,
Bayer. I thought you said Bayer, like the paint.
Oh yeah, no, Bayer.
And I remember when this stuff started, the Sandy Hook thing started. I remember talking about it, and why isn't I mean, I know other companies don't want to be, a lot of them don't want to be associated with gun companies. You know, I mean, they're afraid to make their association with them. They don't want to be tied to them or whatnot. But every other manufacturer of a product out there, like a car or a chainsaw or whatever it's going to be, has to be looking at this saying like, holy shit, if that goes through, we're next. We're the next one that some dude's going to, you know, cut off his foot with a chainsaw because, you know, and sue him because it was, you know, too sharp.
Every manufacturing company in America would be bankrupt, literally.
Yeah. Like they all have to be paying attention to it. They've got to be. And now whether they're going to jump in or not to try and fight it, I don't know. Some of them might, if it really gets to be towards the Supreme Court or something, like if it actually goes somewhere and they're actually hearing the case, you know, those other companies, maybe some of them will jump in and be like, yo, this is crazy. Do you realize what this could mean? You know, I don't know.
The premise of the Connecticut lawsuit is about how the product was advertised.
Right.
Now that to me is so weak. It is so weak. But that's the premise. And they're using a state law that allows you to sue if somebody advertises the product in a certain way. And I would be more concerned about that going national, about, you know, them saying, well, you know, this guy killed a family of 4 because he drunk drove his car into their minivan because he saw a beer commercial and a car commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this kind of, so I'm kind of being funny, but think about this. So look what it did to the gun industry. But can you imagine these people getting attacked by freaking protesters right now, turning around suing the skateboard manufacturers because they made their trucks so deadly? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, the whole thing with the advertising, I think we're taking some of it a little out of context. It's not that, oh, you saw an ad for one thing, saw an ad for something else, and decided, oh, that's a good idea. With them, it was what was their sticking point? Like renew your man card or something like that.
So it was a picture of a Bushmaster AR-15, and it said, "Get your man card back," and that was all it said. And it was a magazine advertisement, and that's the premise of the whole lawsuit. That is so weak.
I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with the lawsuit, though, since Remington's bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And who got Bush? I forget who got Bushmaster.
Franklin Armory.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin Armory. But, I mean, if Franklin Armory was worried about that lawsuit, I can't imagine they would have taken the name Bushmaster, because why would you take the name knowing that you're going to get sued for it?
Well, you also have to look at it like, what state is Franklin Armory in? If they're not in Connecticut, the lawsuit no longer applies to them. And it is going against Remington, who owned Bushmaster, I guess Freedom Group. And now it is changed owners, so...
Well, they filed...
They're not responsible for what the previous owners did, so the court case gets thrown out.
Right.
I'm trying to remember if Chapter 11 means that you can't get sued, period, or you just can't get sued for any money owed.
Yeah.
I think you can still get sued to get it on the books, but there's no compensation. But I still think you can sue, because there will be people that will line up for Chapter 11 companies just to get it on record. So I think you can still sue, but obviously the compensation's been frozen at that point. I might be wrong about that, but I think at one point, I remember you can still sue, and a lot of people do, just like I said, just to pile it on top,
Yeah.
Well, I think with the whole bankruptcy and getting the word was just in my head here, repensation or whatever the hell word is there's like a pecking order of, okay, here's the people you actually owed money to or contracts you took out. Then here's the shareholders, then whatever outstanding. So, yeah, if they have like $1 billion,
there won't be anything left.
It's okay, well, he's taken his cut. They've taken their cut. They've taken their cut. The lawyers have taken 2/3 of it. So here's a quarter. That's what's left.
Is there a bug crawling on the face of your robot there, like Pence's face?
I just saw that.
Yeah, we've got freaking lady Asian beetles, and I wasn't able to spray today because we had thunderstorms all day today. Actually, I'll take that back. We didn't have thunderstorms all day today.
Lady Asian beetles. What's Yoko doing there?
Hey, look. I'm not proud of it, but $20 is $20.
Don't those apes like eat all the bugs off each other?
We eat fleas. We don't eat these beetles.
No, that's
you've crushed
grooming.
these beetles before, and you've smelled them. They don't taste much better.
So she said.
That's what you said.
I have an article pulled up about Amy Coney Barrett and how they're freaking out about her being Pro 2A, and I don't think we need to talk about that though.
She went to Barrett.
So
you want to talk about something unrelated from Pennsylvania?
So has anybody
sure, what up?
Anybody said anything or made any movement on confirming her, or is it just
it's still supposed to be going?
That's Trump's picks, and nothing's really
think
made any
the hearings start tomorrow. Last I heard was
it's supposed to start. Yeah, it's supposed to start coming. I mean, it's supposed the process is supposed to be started. Yeah,
tomorrow. We hate you tomorrow.
Go ahead, Squid.
No, these are just committee hearings. So
right. Squid, what were you going to say?
I saw Marty today.
Oh, yeah?
McFly?
McFly?
No.
McFly.
He's a robot.
I'm looking for Johnny
Midnight.
Five, but I hadn't seen him in years.
You better hope that one day you don't pull that thing up on screen and his little hat comes flying off. Otherwise, that'd be kind of odd.
No disassemble.
I'm following this thing around the store, and the people in the store are looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm trying to film it, and I'm like, I have never seen. Wait a minute, I've seen this before.
I know what that is.
Yeah, I know what this is. And one of the guys came out of the back room, and he started telling me about it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, why don't we have these at stores in Michigan?
Because your governor would have them install with the loyalty little V switch. It'd be like that episode of Futurama. Since this is an emergency, all automated robots will now have their kill circuits activated.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when I saw that one freaking out, man, and the lights all turned orange and it started speaking in strange language.
Yeah, different languages and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
What
this
were
thing
you
Bender, please insert girder.
I would not have a kill switch in my.
And it's supposed to do that when there's a spill or something, but there was no spill.
There's a little piece of paper on the floor. Is all it takes to get this thing to lose its damn mind.
It turned orange and it started speaking in English and in Spanish, and I was like, "Well, this fucking thing's about to go nuclear. I gotta get the hell out of here, man."
See, that's gonna be like Red Dawn 3, Attack of the Robots.
The grocery store robots.
Here, this is what happens when it's like the Last Starfighter and it does the Death Blossom. It just starts going like this and shooting laser beams all over the place and shit. It's crazy.
The thing is as big as it is, you think they could put a Roomba in there?
Oh, it's freaking huge. Yeah, man. It's bigger.
You
it's
need like a swarm of Roombas.
Well, I come around the corner and I hear this beeping and I'm like, what is that? And then I almost run into the thing and I'm like, what the hell?
Citizen, stand clear. There is a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing's
No,
pretty
as
crazy.
for Johnny Five, Johnny Five went down the wrong path, started hanging out with gangs, got into drugs. That's why you don't see him anymore.
Yeah. It's hanging out with the Los Locos. That was the name of the.
It wasn't today. Sorry, it was Saturday night. It was Saturday night. Yeah.
M. Gabriel says, "What are you talking about?
What store was that at, Squib?
What's that?
What store was that at?
The Giant in Scranton.
That wasn't Marty. That was Joe Biden.
Yeah, okay. So it's funny. I drive around Scranton. And on the backside, there's a Trump billboard, and I didn't see any Biden signs. I came back through, and I went through downtown Scranton, and that's where I saw the Biden signs. And I'm like, I would expect that here, but it was kind of interesting counting the signs going through Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and then driving back part partway on a different route and counting the signs, and it was kind of giving me an indication of how each state is voting.
Mm-hmm. M. Gabriel is saying, what are you talking about? So Giant Food Stores, it's a grocery store that's all over PA. They have these things that are like robots. And I found this a couple weeks ago. They actually make plush dolls of Marty now. Huh. And he has a name tag, and normally it says, "Hi, my name is Marty," because his,
Martin just like some big 6-inch googly eyes
I told the guy who he was telling me what it was. I'm like, yeah, I've seen one of these before. One of my friends posted a video, but he said, "Is that some store named Martin's?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's what we were before we were Giant."
Yeah,
but he said, we still call him Marty. And he says,
"Well, I think Martin's is the big corporation. I think Giant is a subsidiary of it. And there's a Giant Eagle. There's Giant. There's something else too.
I think there's just Eagle. I think there's Giant Eagle, and Giant or something.
There might be. Yeah. So Marty is this big robot, and he has sensors on him. And at first, what I thought it was I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I thought it was trying to detect whether things were out of stock. I thought it was like a stock robot, like an inventory robot.
Not a stocking robot.
Yeah, like an inventory. Yeah. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But here I find out that it's not. It's actually just supposed to sense whether there's a spill. And what it does is it just roams around the fucking store. And it's got big googly eyes on it and stuff. And when it sees a spill, it stops and it starts flashing orange lights, and it says like, "Please be careful," please, or whatever. I can't remember what it says. I've only heard it once. And because I came around to turn in it, a corner, and I was like right in front of me, and it starts freaking out and flashing orange and telling me to be careful or whatever. But it says it in Spanish too. And I was like, whoa, that's really creepy, man. It's really weird when you see him freak out.
Well, they already have a bunch of staff that does the same exact thing.
Like freak out when there's a spill.
Yeah.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Walk around googly-eyed, not knowing what the fuck's going on.
That really freaked me out back in college, man. Late night trip to the store, and I went to art school, so let's just leave it at that. But
yeah,
that'd mess with you.
It says caution, something detected. I pulled up the video. I don't think I can screen share this. I don't know. That won't work, will it?
Are you on mobile?
I'm on my desktop.
It might.
Yeah, you should be able to.
You never know around here.
Yeah.
Just to remember to click the share audio button down.
I'll just post a video later, but everybody should go check out Midnight's video. I wouldn't even know what this thing was if I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, it's
like, what'd you go to Pennsylvania for? I wanted to see Marty.
Yeah. That's what you should have told him at the store. Be like, this is my pilgrimage. I do a religious pilgrimage every year to come see Marty.
No, I was like, you guys got any Tasty Cake or Yingling?
Or there's a Polar Pop.
Yeah.
I almost stopped at Circle K in Ohio to get a Polar Pop.
So this guy's back in the news again. If Biden wins, this congressman has a plan for gun confiscation. It's old.
They all do.
Eric Swallowwell, a Democrat from Swalwell. Sorry,
Swalwell.
I'm sorry.
A Freudian slip there, Midnight?
That's my fault. I said Swallowwell, and it's Swalwell. That's my bad.
Better than Swollen Well.
Words are hard. A Democrat from California's San Francisco Bay Area, of course, renewed his call for national policy that most gun controllers likely support, but are unwilling to say it out loud. So, blah, blah, blah.
So he's going was that Pete Buttigieg or whatever route?
He's assuming he's going to win, so that's a big assumption.
Well, I think what he's doing is he's bucking for Beto's job as head gun confiscator.
How'd that work out for Beto, by the way?
Well, Biden didn't win yet, so we'll see. No, but remember, Biden said he was on stage with Beto, and he said, "Hey, or in an interview or something with Beto, and he said, "Hey, you're gonna be my guy, right?" Or whatever he said. He basically was saying he wanted Beto on his staff to be in charge of this. Now, whether that was official or not, obviously, it was just on stage and something he said to him, but he said it to him in person. So I think old Swallowwell here is bucking for Beto's position. And in May 2019, he introduced the Freedom from Assault Weapons Act, which I'm sure is just I'm trying to look and see if this is a confiscation or a buyback, quote unquote. ATF would buy back the banned guns from people or businesses. All guns bought back would be destroyed. Let's it's buyback. So he also said that the guns he wants to ban are the murder tools of choice for hateful extremists and untrained law enforcement and military wannabes. Right now, Americans own an estimated 16 plus million AR platform and similar
good luck with that.
rifles. Yep. 16 million. Holy smokes.
Yeah, and I want to be in the sheriff's department when that comes down and say, "Oh, by the way, you've got to go to Jim Bob's down the road and collect all of his rifles." Yeah, I'd be like, no, I won't.
Nah, I'm going on lunch.
You might be able.
You have to go collect them.
Yeah, you might get you might get one or two. Once you get to one or two houses, everybody else in town is going to know. So that's pretty much the game is over then.
It's like on Spaceballs. We ain't found shit.
Yeah.
They're combing the desert all day.
Of course, if they're successful, they're going to give everybody what they paid for those firearms, right?
Nah, it'd be like $200.
Who cares?
$200 is plenty for a used rifle. I mean, I don't know why you would ever charge more.
Man, it wouldn't even be $200 cash. It'd be like a $200 gift card to like Walmart or Target or something.
Yeah.
And it expires in 30 days.
So here's a question: do we just have to give them the lower, technically?
Yeah,
you got to give it all. Give all.
No, you got to give them the shooty. The
upper's not registered. The upper is just a piece of metal, man.
That's real.
So is the lower. Lower's just a piece of metal.
Yeah, but it's got a serial number on it. But I'll give you an old Anderson lower if that's what you want, bro. Here's an Anderson.
Mine don't have serial numbers on it.
Take out. Well, that's your own problem.
Wait, where's my grinder?
It's on your phone under special software.
When Moose says he wants to get something to eat, when he wants to get something to eat on Grindr, he ain't talking about subs.
Grinder.
So the McCloskey thing. So Squib, your buddy McCloskey there, they got some shit going on here. I know a lot of people have talked about that. No, I don't want to shop at Home Depot right now. I'm busy, damn it.
He goes to Lowe's, not Home Depot.
No, when you shop at Home Depot, that means you got to go to work later. What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't shop there.
I think this is still sort of developing. We've heard about them getting charged for tampering with evidence, but I don't really know because I've heard different stories about what has happened. So and this is the same thing. This is just kind of speculation. I don't really even want to get into it, I guess. There's no reason to get into it if we don't really know what happened yet. California's ghost gun lawsuit, a step towards universal registration and beyond.
They already have registration. Like, you can't, like, if I were to sell you a gun and we both lived in California, we actually have to go to a gun store or an FFL and then have to do what they call a private party transfer. They already have this stuff. Hell, they even have an ammo thing now where you have to have a permit to buy ammo.
Yeah, this is
and
specifically
a background check on that too.
Ghost guns. Ghost
Can
guns.
I sue for defamation?
Sure, go ahead. Just sue for fucking anything.
Copyright infringement.
I mean, yeah, you can sue whatever you want. It just depends on how long you can keep your lawyer happy.
Keep the money flowing, yeah.
About 6 seconds.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wait, that's the wife. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My lawyer's got a nice rack.
Gun rack? Holds 4 rifles, huh?
Oh, 4 rifles and 2 pistols.
I have a boat.
Check this thing out. I found this scurrying around, the
interwebs.
The interwebs. Limited edition Winchester Model 94 Paratrooper PDW. And I think this guy did this himself. It's in 44 mag. Fits in a desk, backpack, saddle scabbard, on the trap line, stuffed in a belt, unnoticed when carrying on the biathlon. Yeah, biathlon rig.
Shut up and take my money.
Oops. What happened? What happened? Hold on.
I'm more interested in the 1980s Don Johnson leather jacket to the right.
Nice.
It's got the hood and everything.
Yeah, it's got a hoodie and everything.
Seriously, that's like the high end members only shit right there.
Oh wait, can they do they have pleats in the side? Because that's not gonna fit me.
No. It's form fitted, and it don't fit your form.
It looks like my belly though. Look at that size of that belly button.
Match that parachute.
So this is pretty spiffy what this guy did, because he's a big, I guess he hunts and traps and stuff like that. So it's not letting me click on it. I wanted to make it bigger. So it's an old 94 with a
rub it, dude.
Yeah, with a basically a folding stock.
Like a side folder.
Look, the doggy's sleepy.
It's cut almost like a mare's leg would be, and then he has a folding stock.
That had sex with like a Henry survival rifle or one of those survival rifles.
Yeah. It said, I made it from flat iron. The comb is walnut. Rest of the stock went into a bill hook handle. Without stock, it measures over minimum NFA, so it's legal with or without the stock. I usually just use one bolt as it grabs very tightly, but with 2 bolts, it's rock solid. I got the idea from these local old timers back in the day. Picture taken in 1955. These were M92 4440s. One was a folder made from aluminum tube. It fit in the back pouch of a Filson Mackinac. The other modeled after more or less a Sten gun stock. So
man, I dig those old photos like that. That's
it's
all.
a mountain. I mean, that's a mountain. There's a mountain
big,
lion.
Mountain lion.
Yeah.
And those guys were just wasted too.
I actually saw a picture on Instagram today or yesterday of a mountain lion cub that was rescued from a fire. It was all singed up. Its paws were burnt and its whiskers were all burned off. And firefighters snatched it and brought it out. So I think this is pretty neat, huh? I mean, that's some cool home gunsmithing.
Not Honda smithing.
Nah, not for sure.
The world's worst gunsmith.
Yeah.
MidnightRangeTM channel.
That's right. So when I saw it, I wonder, I was like, well, how is it legal to take it and change it, to the point where it has that folding stock? But by keeping the stock just long enough, it's legal. It's just nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. So I was like, wow, that's pretty freaking cool.
I don't see any difference between that and like a folding stock on an AK or
no, there's not.
And an AR. Not. So
the one that's folded, the overall length is long enough that even if you didn't have it on there, it'd be legal. So you could do whatever the hell you want. You could make any kind of stock as long as it's legal before you have the folding part added on. But what a neat gun. How cool is that shit?
I dig it.
Yeah, man. I mean,
he needs a large loop on the lever, though. Come on, it's snowing out. You got gloves on.
Yeah, the 94s didn't have large. I don't think they ever did. Do they do 94s with large loops? Not the old ones, probably.
Some.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember back in the day, if you were, you get this from your Monkey Ward catalog or your Sears and Rollback, and or catalog, or you just called up Winchester and said, "Hey, I want this model of gun. but I want it with this level of bluing, this type of stock, this length. You could like basically custom order from it. So I'm pretty sure someone at some point in time said, "Oh yeah," and I'd also like it with the big loop on it.
Yeah,
That thing's cool. Look at the mag tube, comes right out to the end. I mean, that whole thing just gives me a chubby.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, I thought that was pretty neat.
Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Let's see. We got Beretta had a birthday. Happy birthday to Beretta. This past Saturday, October 3rd, Beretta celebrated its 494th anniversary as a firearm manufacturer. Beretta is the longest history in continuous operation in the world. And Ghost is such a fan of Beretta, he left.
Mm-hmm. Oh, even after Robbie's been pimping out his stud. What the hell?
Yeah, he said, "Fuck Beretta, I'm out of here."
Bye, Ghost.
Oh, he got to go to sleep. He didn't get to have his extra purple crayon for lunch today, so
I guess that makes two of us. I am a Beretta fan, but I got to go too.
All right, see you, buddy.
See you guys later. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, buddy.
See you later.
Semper Fi, Heavy.
Says in 1526, Mastro Bartolomeo Beretta of somewhere in Italy received 296 ducats as payment for a 185 arquebus barrel sold to the Arsenal of Venice. Although there is a history of Beretta products production in the 1500s, this particular moment in our history is the first documented sale of Beretta products in the known world.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. And if you go for another 6 years, they could say we've been around for half a millennium.
Yeah, 500. Yeah, in 6 years, it'll be 500 years. That's crazy. It just seems like guns shouldn't be that old. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems like such a modern thing, but it's not,
I almost helped them celebrate their birthday by buying one of their products today.
There you go.
Almost. Look at one of those APXs.
Oh, yeah.
Those are actually good guns, dude.
I know. Yeah, they're ugly. They're actually cool.
Kingpin has one. He's had good luck with his, as far as I know. I did not, when I first saw them, when they first came out, I was like, ugh, look at that thing.
Yeah.
And it's totally grown on me since. I like the look of them. I think they're pretty cool looking. Yeah, I think they're neat.
Yeah. I'm just in the mood to buy a gun, so I just kind of walked right between that and a Ruger American in 45.
Oh, darn. I helped them celebrate their birthday without even knowing it.
There you go.
Oh, what'd you buy?
Oh, crap. 2 weeks ago at the gun show, I picked up a Beretta 3032 Tomcat used for a pretty good price.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just a little not Gary.
What in the hell is that?
Do-it-yourself guns. Ivan the Trolls 3D printed Walther PPK frame. So this dude took a Walther PPK, built a frame for it, mounted a red dot and a CAC brace.
Man, I don't know whether to congratulate him on his ingenuity or see he needs professional help.
Well, now, if it was something like, say, a Mac, then okay, who cares about a Mac? But it's a PPK, so that's a little more egregious.
Yeah.
For those wondering, his previous print lasted about 230 rounds, and he ended up going a different route to reinforce the frame. In his comment on the last article, he gave us this info.
Brap. Sorry about your balls, bro.
Yeah. It wasn't the barrel mount that broke, but the trigger guard slide top mount. This should prove easy enough to reinforce in the next iteration. Look at that thing. Crazy looking, huh?
Yeah. Dang.
What in there? Oh, Ghost is out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Can't
bailed.
go Betty by.
He had to go sleep.
Says ever wanted to
check bounce.
If anybody needs beauty sleep, it's Ghost.
There you go. Ever wanted a Walther PPK PDW? You're welcome.
It works, but I could probably think of a little more elegant solution.
Dude, that would have won the zombie gun challenge right there.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Did
Defense Stand still in here? There he is.
Yeah, I'm here.
He should have won that goddamn thing.
Hey, man, before the Discord went all screwy, I had 16 votes.
No shit.
Yeah.
And your video was awesome about the whole thing. So, I don't know.
Thanks, man.
Oh, come on. You can't complain that there was an internet apocalypse for your zombie apocalypse.
It was all planned. It's scripted. It's just like wrestling.
You know, I can't really complain because honestly, that video on my channel, small, just the exposure I got in that video doubled my subs. And
your sub? Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
So 2 times 0 is still 0?
No, I'm at a whopping 321 right now, man. I'm just jumping for joy.
That's 322 more than me.
I like some of these comments. This guy's mind call says, ATF, you can't print a 3D gun. Ivan, pistol go burr. Go burr. Somebody come look at this. It's the ATF guys.
I got some fuel filter solvent traps if you guys want something.
No.
This guy says, I didn't know we were doing the hot gat or FUD crap today.
Hot gat.
Hot gat and
I
FUD
do not
crap.
consent.
Yeah.
You want to know what's funny about my? It's not focus on me, but then when I was making that gun before the zombie, so I'm working in my garage, right? And my neighbor comes over and starts talking to me. He's one of those neighbors like, "Oh, what you doing?
What the hell is that?"
Well, here I am. I have the forend in my miter saw, and I'm cutting it, and then I'm sanding it. Like, oh, I'm modifying a shotgun. It's like, and then she's like, "Oh," she turns and just walks away.
Oh, I gotta go.
You better walk her after that.
Speed dial.
My turkey's done in the microwave. I gotta go.
This is the same neighbor that one time I was sharpening my lawnmower blade with a grinder on the driveway, right? Because it's throwing sparks. I'm in the middle of grinding the damn thing, and all of a sudden I get this tap on my shoulder. What you doing? I'm like,
Using a very dangerous power tool that you should know
thank
not
you.
to bother a person they're using.
Sparks flying on a piece of metal. Awesome.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Interrupted my grinding time.
Neighborhood Watch HQ there, buddy.
Could be worse.
We're actually the leaders of the neighborhood watch. They're nice folks, but like, for God's sake, can I do one project without you stopping me?
Well, we want to make sure you're not doing anything illicit.
Good thing you didn't bear spray. I mean, shoot you in the head.
You don't get it. I'm the countercultural one, having the same views as universities, corporations, the media, Hollywood, and every major political party means I'm anti-establishment.
Yeah, just like the Goths on South Park.
Yeah. This was brutal. You guys see this kick? Pow.
Oh yeah, they said it was a kick that shook the UFC.
That's going to be that'll be knockout of the year. 1-year-old boy run over by suspected carjacker as mother held him. So lady got carjacked, and the fucking carjacker killed the kid, ran the kid over, ran him over. Fucked his ad up.
That is so bad, man.
That dude needs to get the goddamn chair for sure.
Yep.
No, more like a Braveheart, thing.
Well, if that's the dad, I mean, I said this before, man. There's a lot of horrible shit in other countries as far as like their laws and criminal justice and whatnot. But that eye for an eye thing, man, I'll tell you what. Like, you kill somebody's kid, I think the dad should have 15 minutes with you, unsupervised, do whatever the hell happens. And if you allow to leave,
no, dads are too quick and a little too methodical. Just have the mom go in there.
Yeah, you need to linger it. It's got to linger.
No, you send the mom in there first. If there's anything less, then dad gets a whack at it.
Oh shit! No way. My wife.
I gotta go in there and pull a Batman.
I don't know, man. My rule is I'll go to jail to protect my kid, but because she's got a mom if I'm in jail.
Mad Sexy posted this, and at first I was like, "Wow, what's going on there, buddy? What did you do to your?" He has these remote control cars. He has these real cool RC trucks. I was like, what happened here? How excited were you about your new RC truck?
You have a sick mind.
Maybe Trump got to him. Trump was beating everybody off, and he got a hold of Mad Sexy.
Beat it!
Yeah.
Beat it. Just get out the meat. And
Felicia Rasad says, you shouldn't judge you shouldn't let what Cosby did affect the show. You know, I guess she's against. I guess she's against people, not airing Cosby shows and blah blah blah. You know.
Well, yeah, because then she doesn't get that, the fucking little money that she'd get for everybody who airs it. So
the syndication money, yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. Well, he must have gave it to her good then. Eat some of these chocolates. Whip the dipper dipper dip the pudding pop.
I showed this to my boss, and I was like, "This is true, you know. If my job ever gets me to this point, I'm gonna leave."
The fuck?
Beetlejuice.
Before and after. I was like, if your job does that to you, you need a new line of work, brother. Get the
I like
hell
those
out.
shoes, man, and the way the pant legs come down.
Yeah, I like that.
Is this supposed to be like a pantsuit or like pants skirt or something or bell bottoms or what the hell's going on?
The pants are eating their soul.
Did it have a soul to begin with?
It's sucking it right out.
Yeah.
Got two of them.
crack is a hell of a drug.
Puppy.
Yeah. I remember the first time I did crack.
My wife, please don't yell at my liberal cousin about how all gun laws are unconstitutional tonight. Me, I promise I won't. 12 years later. Guess what,
motherfucker?
I thought that was pretty good. 12 beers later.
Got it.
Tonight.
Move this.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you do? Midnight, how did you get into Obnoxious's house?
I don't.
How did you get into his bedroom and look under his bed under that floorboard?
Well, when he first got it, it didn't have any of that crusty stuff around the hole.
That right.
Oh.
I promise this is not me.
Bullshit.
Oh, you always got to throw water on the grease fire.
Well, you never had a fire in the kitchen, man. When I ran restaurants, we had that stuff all the time.
Then you get to go home early.
This shit is startling, though. Watch.
It just blows it up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Now, you see what happened was this person had headphones on, and they were listening to St. Elmo's Fire.
And the worst thing I ever saw, we had a guy, he ran the fire station, and he dropped his tongs, and he just reaction. He went elbow deep into the fire to get him. Oh.
Yeah, shit like that happens for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I think I got that in my order.
I had to fish one of my employees' fingers out because he was using the Hobart, and I had to fish it out of the garbage and take him to the emergency room. Man, that stuff's no joke.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Is that Clover?
No,
it's Johnny.
No, that's Johnny B.
Yeah.
With some girl, which is unheard of.
Oh, so they're just friends.
Well, they probably share a makeup secret.
That and go looking for guys together.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I showed this one last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Save some Second Amendment for the rest of us.
I mean, who around here hasn't tried to stuff their pockets full of every gun and every holster they have before? At least once.
And they all look like a different caliber.
Yeah, different guns, different calibers. He's got 3 mags for each one. Yeah, he's ready to rock and roll.
Tool Raider.
Yeah.
Did you say Tool Raider?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tool Raider.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Does he identify as Laura Croft?
I mean, look, all you have to do to make appropriate Tomb Raider movies is just make Indiana Jones, but it has tits. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but this day and age, that'd be something different.
What are you saying that a 90-year-old Harrison Ford with a set of triple Ds won't draw a crowd for at least the opening weekend?
Well, I mean, I don't know what he identifies at, but they'll put that in the movies these days.
Movie.
Midnight's just staring there like, what the hell?
No, I'm scrolling through some stuff.
Oh, he's trying to keep the show going, not in the gutter.
So
Too
what's the latest word on this Denver shooting? Like,
I just barely heard it today.
Yeah,
talking about the bear spray,
Pinkerton, Navy vet, blah blah blah.
Security contractor.
What's
I don't know nothing.
I mean, I know what happened, sorta, but I've heard that the dude slapped the other guy, and then you know what I mean. Like, I don't know if I've 100% heard what happened yet.
I don't know. When I got home from work, I had Matt's chat playing, and it kind of said the same thing like what you just said. The one guy slapped him, and they both reached, and he had the bear spray, and the other guy had a bear spray trump card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he brought bear spray to a gunfight. But did so the guy that shot?
I think he's in custody. I think.
Did he? Yeah, he is. Did he instigate it?
Yeah, probably.
Well,
right,
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're not dealing with
probably.
It needs.
Yeah. That's it. I'm trying to. I keep pulling up articles, but they're.
Empty hand, ND.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I'm scrolling through Matt's Discord here because somebody had like 3 frames of the video.
The bear spray like in midair.
Well, no, one was like one was where the dude had gotten bitch slapped and his head was like halfway around. The next one was the bear spray, and the one after that was the guy like slowly, or like he'd clutched something here.
It's bad to get punched, but it's worse to get slapped.
And slapped hard enough to wear your hat and your head spins like 360.
Hope your goddamn head was in it.
A bunch of goddamn commercials here.
Oh, is it just me, or did that security guard not look like a security guard?
Well, he wasn't.
He was
supposed
probably
to be like a security guard. He was hired, allegedly. I will qualify allegedly. He was hired to be like a security detail for a reporter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was probably like a private bodyguard type.
And there was supposedly some relation to the Pinkerton Detective Agency, which they've been around for, like 200 years.
Yeah.
They're actually the founding fathers of law enforcement. They started out in England and came over here. That's kind of where the law enforcement kind of derived from. But most of their stuff now is under Securitas, but they still have Pinkerton USA, which is like their high-end. You got to have a clearance to get a kind of job there. So I don't see this guy getting charged for murder.
Yeah. He's probably a level 4 personal protection. That's probably what it is. But they called him security contractor, so they really didn't say like if he was like a private security officer who like guards, do special events, security and stuff like that. Since, if it was like anything like a bodyguard, it would have to be a personal protection officer. That's probably what he was.
Well, and part of what I'm also hearing is that the shooter was not properly licensed as a security guard or as armed security in the state of Colorado.
Right.
Now, whether that just means, hey, you didn't initial here or whether it was, oh, hey, you know, KXQP or whatever the hell the reporter was from, called up this place.
Yeah.
This place didn't have anybody. So it's like, oh, hey, your cousin Frank runs a little security company, doesn't he? He's got a couple extra people, right? Yeah, just have him send one of those over there.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that. I think if he actually worked for Pinkerton, and this would be a reason why Pinkerton hasn't talked about it yet, is because if he's working for Pinkerton USA, which is their contract agency where they do a lot of, like I said, secret or sensitive type work, they're not going to come out and say anything. And also, and in regards to if he's that level of private security, which is more like a contractor, like you said, the rules are slightly different for those people. So, and then as for them saying, well, he should be charged with murder, no, he's facing a large group of people who had pepper spray and he's armed. He had to think of himself and his client and protect them. So I'm not saying he was right in shooting, but I'm also saying he may not be wrong either. All we're seeing is a few second clip. We're not seeing the whole thing.
It's Mr. Guns and Gears Instagram was the picture I was thinking of. Hold on, let me.
I have one pulled
open
up
it
too.
here.
It's in this. There's a woman made a statement afterwards. The two exchanged heated words. The Patriot, which is weird. They keep calling him the Patriot, which I think is odd. But the Patriot hit the man in the face, then backed up to spray mace at him to protect himself from the man's coming after him as he was expecting. So the dude in the hat did slap the guy and then backed up and sprayed. Literally in that split second, the man who had gotten hit by the Patriot pulled out a gun from his waistband and shot the Patriot.
Yeah, you can see. Here you can see him getting bitch slapped. And if you look very closely right here at the dude's Gucci Glock, you can see it's actually just starting to come out of battery.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And the way Matt was saying it, if you listen to the video, it was basically the bear spray makes a rather loud, or makes enough noise to be picked up by the microphone to where it was
you can hear it,
like spang, like a half second of it getting sprayed. So whether they, dude number 2 here was drawing at the same time, or that.
One of the tough things is the guy with the pistol that shot. Does he, in that split second, does he know that's bear mace that guy's pulling up, or does he think he has a gun? Maybe, you know what I mean. That's a tough decision too.
It is.
When this is all going down, this guy hits him and then pulls his hand up from his side and points something at him. This dude is thinking like, "Oh my God, he's gonna shoot me," and that's a hell of a spot to be in.
It's also we don't know.
Okay, well, let me pose you this question. You're armed because you carry concealed as a civilian, all right? And you run into a group of protesters, and one of them comes up, obviously being physically aggressive, and then goes to spray you with pepper spray.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been sprayed with pepper spray?
Not directly.
Spray.
Not bear,
Okay.
regular pepper spray.
I sprayed myself by mistake.
It's going to mess you up.
Yeah.
Okay, and now you're going to be messed up with a firearm. So technically, he may be looking at it like, I can't speak for the guy because who knows what's going through either one of their minds. But if he was attacked, the guy was defending himself. And the other guy with the pepper spray bear spray did have a weapon that could incapacitate him.
Yeah, I think you have
there's stories of people getting sprayed with pepper spray that it gives you the shits. It completely fucks you up.
Yeah, you.
So I mean,
Ken.
No, go ahead. I finished.
You have a duty to defend that weapon too. I understand, what you're saying, if that's what you're saying, and I'm not saying if I was in that guy's spot that I couldn't see thinking that you were about to be assaulted. The tough thing is here, and what I think it's going to go to court or whatnot eventually, is this use of pepper spray? Is it, you know, is it a, I'm getting some feedback there. You know, at some point, people in a courtroom are going to try and say that, well, it was only pepper spray and it's, you know, it was a non-lethal, and this guy used lethal force against a non-lethal thing. And, you know, somebody else is going to say, well, yeah, but he, you know, when he's pepper sprayed and incapacitated, now he has a firearm that he needs to protect that firearm. You know, and then yet another thing, like I said, is this guy assaults him. And I don't know what happened before that. Again, like, you know, I mean, who knows? But, you know, all we know is this guy hits him, backs up, and then pulls and points something at him. I mean, you know, people pull cell phones out of their pocket and point them at cops and get shot or something. You know, so who knows? I mean, this is a really tough one. I don't know who I'm getting feedback from. I'm getting an echo every once in a while. It's weird.
Well, I hope it's not me. I have my mute on.
Yeah.
One thing I could say that I have been certified to use pepper spray, so we had to get sprayed on, and we had to use our baton to punch the bag, you know, like defending ourselves if we were to get pepper sprayed, and kick and punch and, you know, and do, you know, defensive tactics, you know, because, you know, once you're pepper sprayed, you can see, but it's hard because you're getting burned. Your eyes are burning.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they told us was that when you get pepper sprayed, bear spray and pepper spray is two different things. But if you get maced, if you focus, you can do what you need to do. If you start to panic, your body's gonna panic. You're gonna be, oh my God, my eyes are burning. You're gonna be running for water, and you're gonna be going like a. They say good thing to do is to let the air, your eyes air out, and it kind of evaporates. The water does help, but then it also spreads. So if you're throwing water here in your face, it's going to start dripping all over, and then now you're going to have your chin burning and your cheeks burning and stuff like that. So that's why they recommend, you know, let you know, air dry. But you know, people say that, oh, I have asthma and I have this, or, you know, allergies or something like that. It's the OC pepper spray is not going to do anything. It's just going to burn your eyes into, and you let that evaporate, and then it's going to take time to get over it. Now, the guy, I don't know if he had anything else other than the firearm, because like he could have had a baton, he could have had a pepper spray himself, you know, maybe a taser. He went for the pistol. So the only thing I could think of is that either that's all he had on him, because I didn't see him. It didn't look like he was wearing a uniform. So he was just wearing like plain clothes. So we don't know what the heck he could have been wearing in his belt. But as I said, being assaulted, that's probably why he probably pulled a weapon out. Probably thought the pepper spray was probably a weapon. But they usually try to tell you that you use equal force on force, you know, when you're getting attacked. So basically, if a guy's coming like with a little stick, you know, you don't pull out the gun. You know, if you have a baton, you can take it out and you can do equal force. Now, if he's using a deadlier weapon, then you can use deadlier force, you know, equal force to that. But it depends on what state rules you have to protect yourself, because the guy was trying to protect himself and third party, which was the news crew, you know, the person. So there's a lot of variables that go through that. You know, it's kind of like we don't know if the guy was in the right of doing what he did, or, you know, he was in the wrong. We just see what would happen, what was going on through pictures. So we don't know the whole story.
Yeah. So here's a story that I see just without knowing anything about this. The guy smacks him in the face.
Yeah.
And then immediately grabs a bear spray. So he assaulted him, and then immediately goes for the bear spray. I mean, it's not a defensive use of spray, in my opinion.
Spray is already happened.
It's much more.
You know,
it's much
just
more potent.
food for thought. You know, whatever.
Well,
either way, it's going to come down to a jury of his peers or whoever they get suckered into doing jury duty. But
yeah, Yeah, this is
See,
a tough.
sometimes, I mean, honestly, you need to have more of the story. You need to have a full picture of what went on.
Oh yeah, look at
was
all
the
these other
Patriot
stories.
being a jerk to was the Patriot guy being a dick to his client? And he's trying to intervene to keep him away from his client. Was he threatening with pepper spray? That's why he reached for it. And then he got smacked, which was bad on his behalf anyway. He should have just got his client out of there. But there's a million different scenarios that could have gone down, and maybe not a million, slight exaggeration, I'm sure, but we don't know the frame of mind because we're not actually like, even in that short video that they actually posted, I don't know if it's still up or not. You can't tell exactly what happened. Like,
who knows? It could have been an hour and a
video
half
from start to
an
end.
hour and a half leading up to all this shit. Who knows? But yeah, that's
and
the
also
problem.
don't know. It's like, how are the group of people behind the Patriot person acting? Were they gonna be doing the same thing? Were they getting riled up? Were they egging him on? How are you going to look at it? You know, how do you look at it as the person on the receiving end of this? You know, you maybe, I don't know if the person was there with multiple people, correct? There was like a whole group of them there with pepper spray and bear spray and shit. So now he's looking at it as like, okay, when I go down, this guy's already shown physical aggression toward me. What about the rest of his buddies? What are they going to do? And then me and my client are both out of the fight. There's nothing. I'm out of the fight, so I can't protect me and I can't protect my client. Again, I'm not saying this guy's right, wrong, or indifferent. You know, I have no idea what the entire scenario is, but you have to look at it from all sides of the story. What actually happened, the perception of what happened, and then what was their mental mind state at that time of the situation.
And I think he shot him right in the dome, didn't he?
Yeah, he shot him in the head.
I watched
it was
the
a
video.
headshot.
The dude drops right away.
Couldn't have been a 9mm.
No, it has to have been 9mm since it was one of those rolling special things.
It was a 380.
Well,
I can
380.
imagine.
Good.
I was gonna say, I can imagine the defense going something like this: of, you know, I was in a verbal altercation with this gentleman. He assaulted me. You know, when my head snapped back, I saw him going for something. I thought it was a weapon, so I drew my weapon, fired a shot.
Yeah.
Let's say it seems like it's going to be pretty hard for anybody to actually prosecute him.
No.
Actually,
in those frames, it shows that Slap Dude had the can of spray already in his hand,
but
down like by his side.
Slap like that, how clear are you seeing things? You've got that immediate adrenaline rush.
No, it was like the dude. Okay, we're not like seeing the 5 minutes or the hour or whatever the hell leading up to it, but I find it difficult to believe that how Slap Dude already had it in his hand, that it wasn't like the dude slapped and drew the spray at the same time. Dude already had the spray in his hand before he went up and slapped him across the face.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize
I'm
that.
assuming that from the first frame of these freaking GIFs that are floating around, because I ain't seen like an actual video where I can extend it or anything. So
yeah, he has it down by his side now. I don't know how long he had it out.
And of course, dude's wearing all black, and it's a black container. So mistakes were made on both sides of this argument.
That is true.
Yeah, it's a damn mess. It really is another.
Yes, there's no like clearly defined, yes, you were all on the right, or no, you were, 99 cents a day.
Florida man's at it again.
Giving you all these
What
pop-ups.
do you do this time?
If I could ever get through all these pop-ups, Jesus, that was 5 of them. A Florida man was arrested Monday after shooting an AR-15 at a U.S. Census worker who had come near his property. Ugh, great, wonderful. This is all we need now.
Yeah.
Well, you never seen that scene in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, where the little 8-year-old is shooting that 1917 up the mason jars that are hanging in the tree when the three come walking up?
No. I don't remember. I mean, I remember seeing that movie, but that's been a while.
Well, the line goes, "Are you here from the bank?" No. You sure? I nicked the census man yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Flagler County deputies were called to a home in Bunnell, about 70 miles north of Orlando, around 6:15 p.m. after the census worker reported that Michael Cooper, 32, had fired a shot at him. Neighbors told officers that the census worker had parked on the street away from Cooper's house in a vehicle that identified him as a census worker. The worker was also wearing a lanyard that identified him as a census worker. The man who was also clearly heard identifying himself as a census worker. Witnesses told officers that Cooper started screaming at the man as soon as he began approaching Cooper, who was on the home's porch. After yelling at the man to get off his property, Cooper allegedly went inside the home and returned with a black rifle and chambered a round. As the census worker turned to walk away, he heard a gunshot. The victim's wife, who was in the car the census worker had driven to the scene, then began honking her horn as Cooper allegedly raised the rifle to aim at the victim. The victim managed to get in the car, and the couple drove away before calling the police. Well, this guy's going to jail for a fucking long time.
Yeah. From my understanding, he shot the dirt. He wasn't aiming at the guy, but still shouldn't do that.
Good, then.
But here's my question: how many census workers go to work with their spouses? All right. 2, when a guy starts yelling, "You get off my property! Get off my property!" or whatever he was yelling at him, screaming at him, or whatever.
He said he
continued to go, turn around and walk away.
That's what it said, though. That's exactly what it said. It said,
"Yeah, he walked away."
Turned to walk away. He heard a gunshot, so that he turned to walk away.
Not until the guy went inside and got the gun. He was yelling at him. According to the story, he was yelling at him prior to that. Why is that guy still coming? Why didn't that guy just turn around and walk the hell away? Like, okay, I guess I'm not going to come here and get his information. He obviously doesn't want it. We'll send it. We'll get information from him at another date. I mean, that's stupidity. Now, granted, if he's working and, if he is a census taker and he's driving a government vehicle that states he's a census taker and he says he's a census taker, why does he have his wife with him?
Well, I mean, why not? I mean,
I don't think that's,
maybe she
just leaves me. Well, that's cool. She's hanging out with hubby. Cool, whatever. But still, I mean, if I was a census taker and I was walking up on and they started yelling at me and shit, I'd be like, oh, this person obviously doesn't want to talk to me. I'm going to go and do what I have to do and then maybe come back with law enforcement to get it if I have to.
I can't imagine
the issue.
I can't imagine that this guy started screaming at him and the guy kept coming to the house. Because, and who knows? He must have had the rifle like maybe leaning inside the door or something, because it sounds like it happened pretty quick. So started screaming at the man and as he began approaching, who was on the home's porch. After yelling at the man to get off his property, Cooper allegedly went inside the home and returned with a black rifle and chambered a round. So, I mean, it must have been laying inside or sitting inside somewhere easy. I just can't imagine this guy's getting screamed at and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna keep walking up to the house." That's weird. I can't see that happening.
Yeah, no, it's just
I'm just going by what the story says.
Yeah,
that census dude didn't have earbuds in.
We don't know. That's true. I mean, who knows? I don't know. You never know. Cooper was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill, which carries a sentence. Which carries a sentence up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine, with certain additional penalties potentially adding on if convicted. Deputies collected both Cooper's rifle as the spent casing for evidence. Valuable evidence.
Put it in the car.
Oh no, he'll get convicted of it, and he should, because he did something stupid. But still, I mean, you gotta ask yourself. I mean, somebody starts standing up and yelling at me as I'm coming up. As I said, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go, okay, this is, I'm sure they're instructed to do that. If somebody's yelling at them and stuff to get off their property, they're probably instructed to leave.
No matter how long it took for him to turn around and walk away, the gunshot was after he turned around and was walking away. That's in here. So I don't care if the guy did take another couple steps and the guy was screaming at him after he had the gun, and the guy was like, "All right, fucking, I'm leaving." He turned around to walk away, and the dude shot a round. I mean,
Yeah.
that's definite.
And again, like you said, he should be. He should.
Yeah.
If that's exactly what happened, then yes, he should go to jail. You know, he should pay the price for being stupid, play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
Yeah.
You know, but still. And then, like, where at in fucking Florida was this? Was this like this is like
Was it
backwoods
Manhurst, Florida?
Okeechobee or something like that? If it was in backwoods Florida, yeah, I mean, they're like the swamp people down there. Not all of them. I shouldn't be so inclusive on that, but
Florida, man.
Like that Christopher Titus bit. You ever been? It's an odd feeling to be in your own country, but the people around you don't quite speak the language.
Yeah. What'd you say? What? Huh? Say it again.
Pain, dango.
This break is brought to you by PNN.
This break is brought to you by the dog, telling you, eat the crust, don't just throw it out. There's starving Africans and children that could eat that crust.
Here's an article for you. We'll run this one through the room. 308 versus 30-6.
For what?
Similar but different.
Just in general. I didn't read the article, but that's the headline: is 308 versus 30-6. What do you, run it through the room? Why, which one do you like and why? Like, which one would you take and why? Which one do you want? George.
308.
Why?
Because I've shot it before. Never shot 30-6.
Mm-hmm. Guns Barbecue, 30-6 versus 308. Go.
Well, everybody makes the small penis strokes because I shoot 44 Magnums, so I'm going to have to go with the longer projectile and say 30-6.
There you go. Heavy? 308, 30-6. Go.
Oh shit! It really depends on the application, man. If I'm going like elk hunting, I want a 30-6. But if I want something that's going to be fun, I guess I'd go with 308. So it's really a if or and.
Mm-hmm. Moo.
No definitive answer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm same with heavy. If I'm hunting, 30-6. If I'm zombie apocalypse, 308 might be more prevalent. But I'm going to lean towards 30-6.
Mm-hmm.
Because of BAR.
There you go. That's true. There you go. Because of BAR. 3 letters.
You do realize that Ohio's Ordnance Works made a BAR in 308. And it was like about 10 pounds lighter.
Shut your dirty whore mouth.
Hey. I'm not a whore. I'm an escort, goddammit. The difference is I actually shower before I go to work.
Oh. You got me there.
I'm going to go 308 because it is 90 percentile equivalent to 30-6, but it's like a half inch shorter, so you can have more of it.
Damn, I knew I should have went before Ape. I knew it.
Did I steal your thunder?
Bonnie and Clyde didn't shoot no 308s.
I was gonna say 308 is damn near the bullet that 30-6 is, and it's lighter and smaller. Yep.
I think there's a small penis joke in there somewhere.
Probably.
It's shorter, it's lighter, but it does the same job as the bigger and heavier one.
False.
Look. We all know that real men only shoot 17 Mach 2 rimfire.
You got to stop dating shallow vagina girls.
Well, it's kind of hard when they weren't originally girls to begin with.
Those are my favorite.
Oh, that brings me to a Thailand experience. Never mind.
Bangkok.
Look, we already know that you're banned from the country and you're wanted in 3 provinces there.
Los Angeles County Sheriff deputy was in stable condition after she was accidentally shot by her partner early Friday morning. I
think there's a penis joke in that news story too.
Yeah. Could be.
Was her partner male or female?
A female deputy and her male partner were preparing their patrol vehicle for their shift when a weapon was unintentionally discharged. Shot his partner, who was sitting behind the steering wheel of the parked vehicle.
Would that be a premature discharge?
That's what I was about to ask.
Thanks, Guns and Barbecue.
I'd be interested to know. I'd be interested to know where he was standing, like, or was he getting into the car, or was he, doing something like that?
He was reluctantly crouched at the starting line.
He was practically
what did you get shot with?
Last draw.
I don't know. Doesn't say.
I mean, because if he's at the trunk and he's putting up the shotgun, or the AR, actually they might have those in the cab of the car, depending on. Was he loading his gun and it went off, or
I
don't know.
I'd put money on the fact that if it was a AR, that they would have said it was an AR. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming
because it's cops.
It was a pistol.
Yeah, but any chance they can get to throw an AR under the bus, they'll take it.
For sure. They could have missed
it had to be the sidearm.
It was her turn to buy, man.
Yeah.
Are we sure it was accidental? Maybe.
Hell no.
Yeah, she didn't put out. That's why he shot her.
She's like, I really need some time off, and I haven't caught COVID yet. Can you just shoot me in the leg or something?
Yeah. Wouldn't mind throwing the old feet up and watching some TV.
Oh, I had a COVID patient yesterday. You should have seen me, man. I looked like I was going to fucking Mars with all the shit I had to put on.
Yeah. So you're saying you look like
a white
Damon?
ninja? You're like a medical ninja? All covered up?
No, I'm like what's this Chris Farley ninja? What was that?
Beverly Hills Ninja. All white and stuff.
I had no moves. I had no moves like Jagger. I was sweating like a whore in church sitting on a dildo.
Only one?
Yeah.
Couldn't have been sweating that much.
Dude.
Sweating like a dog at a Chinese restaurant.
That's a cat.
Did you blow up a latex glove so you had an
I just repeating what I heard from Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, barbecue. I had that Howie Mandel blow up glove over my head.
What a cock.
Jingle all the way.
Say what?
Jingle all the way.
Oy vey.
Rah, 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 rah.
Rah. No. It's la.
Oh, rah, rah, rah.
No, it's rah, rah, rah.
Balls of roaring. Rah.
You're all going to hell.
I keep telling you, Moo.
I'll see you there.
You're the only one here who
Rinkins.
You committed several acts of unspeakable evil. Where the hell you been allotted?
I think I'm already back. I think I didn't finish my job the first time, so they reincarnated me.
Moo, there was not enough clay to reincarnate you.
Clay mage. I was part of the Celebrity Deathmatch Clay.
Oh, so speaking of Celebrity Deathmatch, here's a Celebrity Deathmatch pairing for you out there in the panel. Bob Denver, who played Gilligan on Gilligan's Island.
I saw that earlier. I saw
Neighbor.
That. Yep. Jim Neighbors or
who?
Or John Denver, Celebrity
Basically,
Deathmatch.
Gomer Pyle versus Gilligan.
Gomer Pyle. He's a bigger
Gomer,
guy.
all the way. Yeah. Plus, he's a backwood hick boy, so
Plus, he's
little
fucking
boys
huge.
probably played the banjo a lot for him.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
He's huge. Well, golly.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
golly, there, Gilligan. I look like I just put my boot up your ass.
Lord, I had to beat off all this stuff. I had to beat off impeachment. I had to beat off Congress, everything else. They then send it to New York, which is all political. They send it into New York, the same stuff into New York.
He had to beat off Congress. That's a lot of beating.
You got to have that on sound bites on every single show from now on.
York.
Yeah.
Have to beat that off. You know, they got New York all over.
What's funny is he says, I love the fact he goes, I had to beat off New York. I had that all over.
All over
Nancy Pelosi.
You should play that in every Christmas episode.
All over both of his chins.
Yeah. I had to beat off New York. I had that all over. I had to beat off Congress.
Well, I mean, look, we've all seen kind of the off-angle shot of Trump during the debates. I mean, you take a look at that Disney Pixar mom bod and tell me that someone wouldn't want them to be. Yeah, just.
I am.
How is it that this 70-year-old man looks like someone's 65-year-old aunt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were saying Melania was a fembot from Austin Powers.
No, Melania is a fembot from Futurama.
Futurama.
I just like everybody else's. Did Ape? Was Ape the only one that heard that one?
Heard what?
Which one?
What?
I thought we were off air.
Hello?
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 From
Operator.
Hello.
Moderator.
Yes, Tim home.
Hello.
Wait.
Goodbye.
Is George still the moderator?
What?
Oh, yeah, you got the star.
I was wondering why I had the star.
Okay, so I have I've renamed this chat Midnight Range TM Live, number 142. Trump F-bombs and beats off America.
Really still says the closer for me.
Well, I
that's
just
going to get like 100,000 views just from the title.
Trump beats off America in the discussion of the points of feminism in Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah.
Ooh, I haven't seen that in like 30 years.
You have the internet. I find that hard to believe.
No, there's better stuff out there. Oh, God damn it.
Should I get rid of F-bombs and just put Trump beats off America?
Nah, Trump F-bomb and beating off
Get rid of
America.
F-bombs.
Yeah.
Trump's senior moment.
F-bombs are our friends.
F-bombs, friends.
F-bomb.
Okay.
F-bomb. Get your F-bombs here. $2 for $1.
That's a great couple seconds of video though.
No. Just
Actually, what is that
randomly
from?
Just randomly
That's from
play it.
Anaconda.
That's what I'll have to do. Just when things are getting boring, I'll have it ready to go.
Absolutely. Because I'm sitting here, I'm like, I got a couple of scratches on my 30-30. I'm sitting here re-bluing them a little bit. And I beat off. I'm looking around.
Yeah.
It's like totally out of the blue. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Melania must have been very jealous.
Melania doesn't give a shit. She's got her anchor baby.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, Midnight, since you played the Trump beating off America sound clip, we've actually gone up 3 viewers. We were at 13, and now we have 16.
Oh, there we go.
Melania, Donald, and Donald Jr.
No, it's Don Jr. Jr. They already had one Don Jr.
Jr. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a McRoyale or with cheese or whatever,
and with a side of banjo.
I didn't say Jeb Bush.
You
got a real purr to mouth there, boy.
Against any of them? Heck yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me? You would have been 20. I had to beat off the phony Mueller report. I had to beat off all this stuff. I had to beat off impeachment. I had to beat off Congress, everything else. They then send it to New York, which is all political. They send it into New York, the same stuff into New York. Have to beat that off. You know, they got New York all over. They don't stop. This is a disgrace. That came out.
I had to go to New York. I had to beat them off. They don't stop.
Oh my God!
Beat it off all over.
You know how annoying it is when you watch like Bob and Tom and somebody's trying to tell a joke and they start laughing over the joke. That's exactly what we're doing here. I can't stop fucking laughing when you say that.
Wait a minute, Bob and Tom is still a thing?
Well, I digress.
You got to send these links out to friends so everybody can hear it.
Got no friends.
Everybody can hear, what Trump said.
It's so funny. I know. I should.
Do it again.
I should go do it live and just play that and upload it
on a loop.
On a loop.
Loop it for 8 hours in a video.
Just a whole loop of him going, I beat off.
I beat.
Shit. Are you kidding me? You would have been funny. Look at me. I had to beat off. The phony Mueller report. I had to beat off all this stuff. I had to beat off impeachment. I had to beat off Congress, everything else. They then send it to New York, which is all political. They send it into New York, the same stuff into New York. Have to beat that off. You know, they got New York all over. They don't stop. This is a disgrace. If that just came out, and I purposely tried to stay away from it because
it's so funny. It's so funny.
Just beat off.
I had to mute myself.
It's funny. It's funny every time.
I think it gets funnier every time.
It might get funnier.
Oh, it is with me, but I'm psycho.
No, you're drunk in your own man cave.
That's pretty.
That was your daughter's room.
Yeah, that's. Oh my gosh, it's fun.
She's in my room right now. She came home to visit for a week, and now she's watching TV in my master bedroom with my dog and my wife, the other dog.
Funny.
Well, we can see where you sit in the family hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, work 2 jobs, pay the bills. That's okay. I got the whole basement to myself, so I win.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, what does it matter?
I do have a 300 blackout with the snowflake lure on it sitting right here that I could show off. Oh,
with the 10.5-inch barrel and the flash hider.
Yeah, it's a real son of a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it really knocks the shit out of you.
I was going to send it to Midnight, but with these new rulings, I can't risk it. All these, everything.
Oh no, you can send uppers. Uppers are no big deal. Yeah,
but it's going to be a pistol. Come on.
I'll trade you.
There you go, Midnight. You need to stick that in one of your Clovertac leprechaun hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick into one of the little vent holes.
Oh, I did find a home for my Odin Olight thing.
Odin Olaf?
Olight thing? Now, you're gonna have to be a little more specific.
Yeah, the Olight Odin flashlight with the pressure switch and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to put it on my 7.5-inch.
Whoa.
Cow.
Whoa.
Hey, I was in the pool.
Would you get a channel strike if I showed this?
No, probably not. I mean, I've been displaying that exact same thing for however long.
If you don't see the whole gun, fuck it.
Or your hand.
Shit. Okay.
I mean, we haven't had a channel strike from Bob the Beretta poking his head up in front of Robbie.
Where's all your bugs, man?
Your bugs, man.
I don't know. They all vanished, and then I smelled this horrible smell of cow shit. So I figured Moo trusted a fart he shouldn't have.
Hey, where are the Millers?
Barney Miller? Betty Miller?
Uh-oh. There's Gary the Glock.
There he is. Oh.
Whoa! Ooh, look at Midnight's dodging it. You can't shoot me with that 32 ACP shit. I catch it, eat it like a bug.
No, that's Betty the Beretta, the 22.
Oh, even worse.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Because 22 is a bigger number than 32, right?
Oh, and shotguns, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think
that 22 is pretty fun though to shoot.
It is, even though it's got really basically, no sights whatsoever. It's got that little half moon and then a little tiny ass notch.
We don't need no stinking sights.
But I will say it is probably the best double action trigger of any little 22 I've ever shot. It's smooth.
Yeah, because they're usually pretty stout.
Mm-hmm. But then again, this was made back in 1985, so it's had a lot more years to get broken in.
Oh yeah, 1985. I was breaking in a lot of things back then.
Yeah, which is why you thought you couldn't buy guns for like the first couple of years. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that was my cousin. Never mind.
No, I was a junior in high school.
1985. I can't remember what grade I was in. I'm like, dang, what the heck?
I still wouldn't be born for 4 years.
Jesus Christ, barbecue.
Wow, I'm not the youngest person on this chat. Woohoo!
Nor am I.
I think I'm the oldest person on this chat. With the youngest.
You got me beat by a few.
With the youngest kids.
With the youngest potty mouth sense of humor. Fart and dick jokes. Let's go.
All right. Let's lock it up.
So we all see that we keep talking when Midnight tries to close it down.
He gets sleepy.
Yeah, just keep talking.
Sleepy.
Just keep talking. Keep
Well,
rolling.
back to the 308-30 thing.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
I mean, in all honesty, these are both inferior cartridges to the 243 and the 270.
Look at Midnight's face.
He's got that.
Son of a bitch.
Who the hell would take a 243 over a 308? What kind of lunatic?
I didn't say 243. I said 243 versus 270.
Oh,
270. Come on, man.
Stop it anything you want.
Well, no, he can't because George is the moderator. He can only cut it off on the YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yes. We're going to open them up to all sorts of stuff.
He's like, fuck you guys. Wait for the invites to go out next week.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Black Cat to get up like 6 hours early again.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably up now. I think he gets heading out. I think he heads out at like 3 a.m. I think he gets up.
Black Cat?
Black Cat, yeah.
Yeah, he should be getting up right about now.
Ghetto the Black what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be up by now.
Well, me and George and Ape will be up till at least 6.
Yeah, you guys can bullshit all day tomorrow if you want to.
Whoa, super lag.
Well, I got a 9 o'clock meeting that I should make.
Yeah.
So we won't stay up till like 3. We'll stay up till
I didn't make the last 2 because of George and Ape. Thanks a lot. Now I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I can finish that story I was telling you guys last week. That a friend of mine, he was working for a security company, and he gave us 2 weeks notice. He was a dispatcher for a security company, so he was showing the trainee how to check a weapon from the armory. Well, the only story that kind of freaked me out was that he said that he had a 1911 and he was going to show how to decock it. Well, he claimed that his thumb was a little bit wet because of the condensation from a soda he was drinking. Well, as he was going to show how to decock it, somehow the weapon fired and cut him right in his left hand. I was like, how do you decock a 1911 if it has a grip safety? You know, you would have to have your hand to decock it and then press the grip safety with your left hand to decock it.
No, you wouldn't. All you have to do is pull the hammer back and depress the grip safety. Because especially if it has a beaver tail, it makes it really easy to do that. Yeah. And then you pull the trigger and then release the hammer slowly.
Well, hang on, let me.
Which I don't advise anybody ever doing, but he can't be doing.
His thumb got slippery, and he claimed that it was, since it was wet, the hammer hit the round, hit and fired a round, and it fired inside the office. And I was like, how the heck is that possible, right? Well, then later on, he shows me a pistol he has, and it's a Italian or Spanish. I can't remember. It was a 1911 clone, but it did not have a grip safety. So it was just like a 1911 without a grip safety, and it didn't look like a Yama, but I mean, the grip looked real weird because it did not have a grip safety on it. And I said, so that's what happened, that's how you fired that round, And then they told him, "Well, you can leave now."
I just did mine. I just let my hammer down without doing the grip safety.
Okay.
Yeah, because on some guns, there's enough like after travel after the hammer is fully cocked, where you can actually bring the hammer down enough to push on the grip safety on the top or on that that tail there.
Yeah.
Well, what's weirder about that though is how did he have it? Like he had his hand in front of the barrel.
Like he had it like something
know,
like this.
Yeah, you still need two hands behind the end of the barrel.
It kind of cut right on his hand, and he had his hand wrapped, and it burned him, and it cut through him, it grazed him. But I was just like, what the hell were you doing?
Yeah. I mean, even if you had a grip safety, I could see being able to do it, but it would be easier to do with two hands. You could depress the grip safety and with your left hand and drop the hammer with your right or something like that, but to be able to shoot yourself in the left hand, that's pretty weird.
Yeah. That was the weird part, and I was kind of like, okay, that's kind of messed up.
What kind of soda did he have on his thumb? Was it Diet Beef soda?
He had a Coca-Cola, so it probably had Coke in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Had the cocaine.
It's probably like Tex Grebner. I just fucking shot myself.
I just fucking decocked myself.
He could have decocked himself.
Yeah.
I love that video, man. I remember seeing that video when he first came out. And then he was out there. The reason I showed this video, because I wanted to show how the safety, and the deadly, how situations going to happen. And since I showed the video of me, I kind of got into training and, trying to like apply pressure so I wouldn't bleed to death and all that stuff, and I was like,
he was lucky as shit, man. He was lucky as shit that it was ball ammo. And he was lucky as shit that it went in and out, and it didn't catch a bone. It didn't catch a bone. It didn't hit him in the knee. Like if it was angled in a little bit more, it would have went right into his knee. I mean, that would just destroy your knee. There'd be nothing left,
or just crush your femur. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I mean, how many views did he get off that thing?
Oh, he's to this day he's still talked about.
Oh, Tosh.0 helped with that too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, everybody.
didn't he blame his holster too? He was using the surfer or something. It was the holster's fault.
Well, he had been doing that all day, trying to quick draw on that target.
Yeah.
People
still talk about it. Every once in a while, you'll hear somebody say, "Yeah, a guy that shot himself that was wearing the cowboy hat," and I'm like, Tex Grebner.
Tex Grebner. From Gubner Updoors.
Yeah. You tell me you can't wear my cowboy hat anymore.
Nope.
I mean, you can, but we will make fun of you.
You probably shoot yourself.
The guy lost a lot of weight, man. I've seen some videos a couple years ago, and I said, "Wow, man, this dude dropped a lot of weight."
He lost it. I found it.
Yeah, heard that.
I'm down like 3 pounds.
You're what?
I'm down like 140 pounds and I'm still fat.
Yeah.
Dang.
Where'd you bury her?
All right.
I'm down. I'm not down any. I'm right about where I was 6 months ago, and I'm still fat. So yeah. So there you go.
I'm at my high school weight plus 100 pounds.
There you go.
So Guns of Barbecue, when you lost that 140 pounds, did you bury her in the desert?
Well, what makes you think that the 140 was only one person?
I wish I'd have a lot more friggin' money right now.
True, dude. I'm still married. Go ahead.
No, literally, 2 months ago, I was in the hospital. I get out of the hospital and go home. I was like, something's not right here. And while I was in the hospital, she had come over to take care of my dogs and then decided to help herself to $140 that I had stashed in a pickle jar.
Well, what were you doing stashing your money in Calaveras' jar?
That's his prison wallet.
What, you didn't notice his new tramp stamp over his that said the pickle jar?
Okay,
Help
we all
yourself?
gotta We all got to get pickled tramp stamps now.
I think I'm going to pass. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't like needles to begin with.
Pass.
First, I'll do it.
I'll get one of those fake ones with his logo. I didn't know you had that much hair on your lower back.
Monkey hair.
I think Midnight wants to end this thing. We should let him go.
Yeah.
He's looking like he's going to start killing everybody.
No, I'm just getting close to shutting it down, whether you guys want it or not.
He didn't even have baby waters tonight, or no birch beer, no nothing.
I keep forgetting to get it while I'm at the store. I got to get some.
Speaking of birch beer, did you see that? Midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned showed off that Boylan's that I was telling you about before.
Oh no, I didn't.
He looks like guys. He really looks like a pissed off dad right now. I mean, we should probably let him go.
And we're all his like little kids running around at the picnic with potato salad in our hair.
He's like, I'm going to kill them when we get home.
I don't know how you eat potato salad. That's weird.
Usually with a fork or some brats or hamburgers. That's how you eat potato salad.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, so speaking of potato salad,
potato.
Do you prefer salad when the potatoes are cut in chunks, or when they're cut in like fry or in like chips?
I prefer chunks myself.
The chunk.
Cut chunks.
What fucking weirdo eats fucking potato chip salad?
No, it's like they're thin cut. They're not like cubed.
I know. No, yeah, that's stupid. Nobody does that.
Oh, fuck you. I like that because you get more of the flavor other than just biting in and getting like a starchy potato.
That means whoever's making your potato salad don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Well, then you can go tell whatever your robot friend there that their potato salad that his company makes is wrong.
Probably the same guy that uses sweetened condensed milk to make a mother sauce.
Cream dried beef, yeah. What the hell kind of shit is that? Bullshit.
Probably the same person who types in the chat, hey, you need to do a series on making stuff with dehydrated goat's milk.
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
Is there anything to plug? You guys have anything going on that upcoming? Any rallies, any videos, anything like that?
Yeah, I got nothing.
No, nothing
Just
on
check
my
out
end.
Instagram. South Texas AR guy.
There you go.
I don't think I've made a video in like 3 years, so 2 or 3, something like that.
You're in other people's videos, though. That's it.
Oh, I would like to say, if anybody is wanting to celebrate Beretta's birthday by going and buying Beretta, turns out Guns and Barbecue's birthday is also October 3rd. So if you want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you can just buy 1 gun and give it to me.
There you go.
Well, wouldn't that be a blind man or a straw man purchase or a scarecrow purchase, whatever that
Blind
is?
man.
No problem. You just pay for it.
Yeah, he's not a prohibited owner, so it's not a straw purchase.
I sent you a couple. Did you not see it?
Too soon.
Who the fuck are you talking
Too soon.
Yeah. All right. I will see you guys next week. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. Get some shreep. Remember, it's important to
blow it.
It's important to chill your beef soda. Always. Just chill your beef soda.
With what we found.
Heck yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me? You would have been 20. Look at me. I had to beat off. I had a report. I had to beat off all this stuff. I had to beat off impeachment. I had to beat off Congress, everything else. They then send it to New York, which is all political. They send it into New York, the same stuff into New York. Have to beat that off. You know, they got New York all over. They don't stop. This is a disgrace. If that just came out, and, you know, I purposely tried to stay away.